Rivalries reignited.
Historic heavyweights.
The spiciest of derbies.
New kids on the block.
The best leagues in the land are back.
Tom Hitchcock crashes, Tom Hitchcock goes, Tom Hitchcock scores! Leaving it all out there for the fans.
A steamroller has just charged through.
Dynasty, destiny, drama.
Your Women's National League Cup champions.
Future stars set to shine.
Will Rigg, who's been on fire all season.
Champagne Rugby? Look no further.
To score one of the most memorable tries.
Durham University are BUCS Super Rugby League champions.
But the truth is, in this league, it's anyone's on the day.
And it's full time. It is 6 wins from 6 for Swansea.
Entertainment guaranteed.
Bullard through! Bullard wins it for Exeter in the death!
BUCS Super Rugby.
Women's National League.
BUCS Rugby is back. Welcome to the Stonex and welcome to the greatest day of the week. It's BUCS Super Rugby Wednesday and it is the one to trump them all. It is finals day. We're here at the Stonex and we have the two best sides in the best league in the land. Exeter taking on Loughborough for the most coveted prize in university rugby. We've already enjoyed Hartpury lift the trophy in the Women's National League with a commanding performance over Exeter, but now it's all down to the boys. You and I, we started this journey 203 days ago, and hasn't it been a blast? But the party's got to stop sometime, and only one team can be celebrating with this at the end of the day. It's blistering sunshine, it's a billowing wind, but only Exeter or Loughborough are going to be storming their way to this cup today.
Barton, long over the top.
Plunkett has the ball at the back. They're over. Josh Barton with a bit of brilliance and a moment of magic. Loughborough over. Loughborough score. Loughborough lead. And Loughborough are the champions.
Well, I think the scene is well and truly set, and what better to enjoy the BUCS Super Rugby final than to have England's Tamara Taylor and Dan Murphy, which institution are you representing here today, Dan?
Hartpury University.
Hartpury University, head coach of one of the most successful sides in the competition's history, and two people who know the league intimately and have enjoyed a fabulous final in the Women's National League. Hartpury taking home the bag of marbles. You must be immensely proud, like from an institutional level.
Yeah, it's great to see the girls be successful again. Mo runs a great programme, and it's great to see them out there celebrating. Still now they're all celebrating, and the guys that have come along to support them, it's really great to see.
Tamara, it's finals rugby, and I think the saying goes that the semi-final is where you bring your best performance and the final takes care of itself. Is that a cliche or is there truth in it?
It's a cliche, but often we don't see the best rugby played in these finals. This game today, though, for the men's is going to be a tasty one. I think it's going to be super close. We were talking earlier about who we think is going to win. You've gone one way, I've gone the other way, but I think either way it's going to be a really, really attritional game.
I'm going to ask you to hold off on those predictions before we get really, really close to kick-off. But Dan, you know these two teams very well, having coached against them in the season. What do you think they both bring as a whole?
Tamara's already alluded to it. It's going to be an attritional game. There's going to be a lot of set-piece battles in here. Some scrum. We just saw the Exeter team rehearsing their mauling and scrums, and I know Loughborough will be doing the same. Played against them twice. They both pride themselves on that set-piece battle, and that's why I think this game's going to be won and lost today.
In terms of the trophy this estate that we have beautifully displayed here, glimmering in the Stonex sunshine, talk to me about the emotions that the boys feel heading into the season, knowing that this is the prize at the end of the tunnel.
Well, it's a little bit special because there's a time cap on it. You've only got your university studies to actually win this thing. A lot of other trophies you can continue and try again. This time there's a limited time, so it's got that little bit of special feelings around it, because with university friends that your housemates, teammates that you live and breathe together with for 3-4 years, and just to battle for that, it's a special thing.
Well, you can hear by the emotion in Dan's voice when he's talking about the coaches live and breathe every second as well. And one of those is the Loughborough coach who hoisted the league championship, Martin Webdell, and we're going to get to hear from him.
Martin, between the first ever league title and an 8-match unbeaten streak, it's been quite a good 2023 for Loughborough, but just how sweet a cherry on top of the cake would a championship be today?
Look, being able to do the double will be absolutely fantastic achievement for us. The league's been tough. It's been a marathon for those 18 games, and then we've had the sprint at the quarterfinals and the semi-finals. 2 really tough battles against a really good Nottingham and a great Bath side, and now we come against Exeter today, so an exciting prospect for us.
Well, you mentioned that semi-final against Bath. It was quite the roller coaster. Do you think the arm wrestle that it proved has actually left you better placed to get the job done today?
Yeah, we've had loads of them since we played Nottingham just after Christmas. Pretty much every game has been a score. It's been really close. We've been used to that week in, week out, those really tight finishes, and that hopefully stands in good stead.
How key will territorial management be today against an Exeter side who pride themselves on those very values? And if you can divulge, what's been the brief for Titcombe and Malone?
Exactly the same as what we've done for the whole season, so nothing changes today. Nothing new from our point of view. Obviously, we've got Charlie Titcombe at 10, Reece Malone at 15, and 2 really good scrum halves as well who kick well, and hopefully that will help us today.
You're a pair of sides who definitely don't know when you're beat, so how do you get ahead and then stay ahead?
Well, look, we've got a really strong squad, really strong 23, and we've looked that all season and really worked hard as a group, so hopefully that will stand us in good stead as well.
Thanks very much for your time today. Enjoy it.
Thanks very much.
Now, Martin Webdell there, who's guided Loughborough to their first league title and taking on the reins of Scott Snedden. And I think people saw Loughborough with a lot of optimism at the start of the season, and they're delivering, but stood in front of them today are the reigning cup champions, Exeter. And tomorrow, I know that you're impressed with their set piece and the threats that they offer in that department.
Yeah, I think anyone that knows an Exeter side, whether that's the women's, the club or the universities, they have a certain brand of rugby. They're very strong at the set piece, carry the ball very hard. So we're probably going to be looking at a game, especially with the conditions a little bit windy and the wind coming down the pitch. I would imagine there's going to be a fair few driven lineouts.
Now, that's one for the purists, but I'm one for the champagne. And look, there's star-studded backline at Exeter as well. Dan John, starting at 15, he just helped Exeter win the Premiership Cup. We're talking Exeter Chiefs. Tom Cairns is on the bench, who scored a try against the Stormers in the Champions Cup quarter-final the other day. I mean, these are high-caliber players.
Yeah, definitely, and it's great to see guys from BUCS Super Rugby step up into Premiership sides. It's a great advocate for the league, and the guys out there today. There will be a set piece battle, but I think talking about teams that throw the ball around, Loughborough that side, I think they've got that side to their game. They always have, and they've upped their set piece game this year, I believe. So I think that they'll be the side to watch.
They may be the side to watch. If we're talking about the fan battle, I think it's pretty safe to say that Exeter are winning it at the moment. It is a chorus around the Stonex. How much does that play in a final like this?
Yeah, it's huge. I think a few of them have been around for a couple of hours. A few of the Exeter fans, yeah. I'm sure Loughborough's not that far away from here. I'm sure the fans will be coming in and trying to get as much noise as they can to drown out the cheer.
Well, a man who is not going to look for the Exeter Supporters Club to be quelled in any voice at all is Rich Hodges, and I know that Claire has had some fine words with him.
We saw the full-time scenes after that semi-final. We know how much last year's victory meant to you and the squad. So have you managed emotions this week?
No, emotions have been really good, really. We've got a number of players who played in last year's final, and I think that's really carried us. They sort of know and help the younger members of the squad to what to expect, really. So emotions have been, obviously it's an emotional game. Like, this is some of the pinnacle of their student career and some of the pinnacle of their rugby career. So obviously emotions are high, but we've kept a cool lid on it, and we're really looking forward to this challenge.
We mentioned rugby careers. Ollie Leatherbarrows took a big step forward this week with news of his Falcons contract. How much of a boost has that proven for the whole club?
Yeah, no, Ollie's been brilliant. You know, obviously he's had this period where he hasn't been playing, but you know, he's a key member. He's our first team captain, and he's really supported through this period. So, you know, it's a brilliant opportunity. It shows how the pathway worked. Ollie come to the university with no contract, got a contract in his first year with Exeter. Has obviously gone 2 years and decided there's good playing opportunities in Newcastle. So has made that decision, and I think it sort of emphasise how good the pathway is in BUCS Super Rugby, and if you come in and you go to university and you do well, there's an opportunity to go to the professional game after that, and I think, you know, it really does emphasise the pathways there for these players.
And turning our attention to today's match, one apiece in this season's head-to-head. What have you learned from those previous 2 encounters about how to beat Loughborough?
To be honest, we haven't really focused too much on Loughborough. We've focused on ourselves, and you know, that's the main thing. We are very much a tide. What we want to stick in our own bubble and do our processes right, and we believe in our own ability. And you know, they've got a really good kicking game. There's some excellent players out there. You know, you've probably got the 2 best 10s in the league going head to head today. So there's some exciting matchups, but you know, we've massively focused on ourselves and making sure that if we put our best performance in, we're in with a shout.
Okay, so then looking at yourselves, what is your best performance? What makes this Exeter team the side that will lift the trophy tonight?
A load of things, really. Like, obviously we've got to stay to our processes. It's really easy to be overwhelmed by the occasion, and we've spoke about that a lot. Like I said before, we've got a number of players who've played on this stage already, so you know, we'll be looking for them to help guide us through. But you know, we've got to stay patient. There'll be opportunities out there. This is no team's going to run away with us today. This is going to be a hell of an encounter, and as long as we continue to stay focused and focus on our fundamentals, we'll be in with a chance.
You won this one at the death last year up against Durham, but Loughborough, they're not strangers to a comeback themselves. So how much of a boost is it to your squad that you've got players of the calibre of Tom Cairns, who is scoring in a European Cup match, on your bench?
Yeah, no, obviously having Tom Cairns available was massive. You know, he played in the last 8 of a Heineken Cup competition only a few weeks ago, and you know, we're really fortunate with the partnership with Exeter that, you know, someone like Tom's available. Just having him with his experience in the squad in the latter starts of the game, it could really pay benefit for us. So, you know, he'll do. It's not just about him though. You know, there's 23 people, and there's, you know, 47 players who played in BUCS Super Rugby for us this year, and they've all had a massive part of it. And you know, as a 23, we're very confident going into this game that, you know, we can get the job done.
Well, we're very much looking forward to it. Enjoy your evening.
Cheers, thank you.
Another coach with the championship glint in his eye, and Exeter have had 2 championship glints. One hasn't quite worked out, but as a club, Tamara, a double header for the men and the women is absolutely huge.
Yeah, it's awesome to have both games and both of your teams here at StoneX playing on the same day. That's what dreams are made of, and that's why the fans are going crazy.
Well, look, Dan, there is a back-to-back on the line for Exeter, but for Loughborough, there is the unique opportunity of being league and cup champions. Only Hartbury have done it, and they did it once in the inaugural year. How special could that be?
Yeah, and it's tough. Cup rugby's fun, it's exciting, and it's getting up for one-off final games. Arguably, the league's harder. You have to be consistently good the whole way through, but then to do both, like, it's a real special challenge for Loughborough today.
All right, reputation's on the gang lines. Who's going to win it tomorrow?
I think it's going to be close, but I think Exeter are just going to pip it.
Dan?
I feel Loughborough are going to do this today.
So we have Exeter over here, we have Loughborough over here. They say at Loughborough it's where history begins, but for over a decade they haven't etched any new name onto this famous piece of silverware. So is today the day that they write a new chapter in those annals, or does destiny lie in Devon? Former BUCS champion Tom Loughborough is up in the commentary booth with the main man himself. It's over to you, D-Rog, for a hotly anticipated final.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, I don't know the answer to that question, but I cannot wait to find out. Glorious sunshine here at the StoneX Stadium, and I am stood next to a man who's tasted both victory and defeat in BUCS finals. Tom Loughborough, there's a huge smile on your face. This looks like it's bringing back a lot of great memories.
Yeah, there is. I'm really excited for this evening. There's such a great atmosphere already. Oh, I love it. I love uni rugby. This is such a great opportunity for all the boys, and I'm excited to see them get stuck in.
Well, there's a rare moment of quiet in the crowd. Joy pointed out that the Exeter supporters were very loud. The Loughborough fans have got a few chants up their sleeve. We've just seen a huge power play as well, haven't we, as Exeter have made their way into the sheds and have just run straight through Loughborough, and that's a massive sign of intent from the defending champs.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. They want to assert their dominance early on, and that's certainly a play. I was just saying to you earlier, I think there's a little bit more atmosphere here than there usually is on a Saturday, but I won't go too much into that.
Well, let's have a look at the teams then. Lots of supporters here enjoying the sunshine. Of course, we've got the defending cup champions against the league champions. Exeter looking to go back for back. Loughborough looking for double delight. And they've kept changes to a minimum after they came from behind against Bath a fortnight ago. The back line is unchanged. There's no tight head prop in there. However, I can guarantee you there is a tight head prop, but Jack Burtonet's too big for the number 3 jersey, so he'll be wearing number 24. Chris Preen returns from a shoulder injury, and Harry Rosen comes on to the left wing. They've opted for a 5-3 bench. They went 6-2 in the semi-final. But it is Langdon, Smith, Westmacott, Taylor and Smith covering the backs. Charlie Bracken plays his club rugby here at Saracens. He covers replacement scrum half. George Barber, if he comes on, will be the 56th player that Loughborough have used in BUCS Super Rugby this season. As for Exeter, consistency is key, and the starting 15 is unchanged from that semi-final win against Cardiff. Jared Williams, Archie Owlett, Milo Hallam, Niall Armstrong, Josh Barton and Dan John all featured in last year's dramatic win over Durham. Josh Barton joined the 200 club this season, his best points return in BUCS Super Rugby. And Kofi Barton-Byfield has 13 tries from the wing. Just one change on the bench as well, and it's a big one. Tom Cairns covers scrum half, locked and loaded after featuring in both Exeter Chiefs Champions Cup knockout wins and bagging a try against the Stormers in the quarter-final. He will offer a serious dynamic change if required. So we've already mentioned 2 of these you featured in, Tom. One victory that actually came against Loughborough in 2016. The last time these 2 teams met, it was in the pre-BUCS Super Rugby era. And then defeat against Hartpury 12 months later. What are the keys to not just winning the trophy, but having a great day and making the most of what a great opportunity this is for these players?
I think the most important thing is to enjoy it. You know, the reason why these teams are here is because they've been playing great rugby for the entire season, so they shouldn't shy away from that. I know the Exeter Uni, they adopt a similar style to the Chiefs, so they want a high ball and play time. They want to go through the phases, they'll use the set piece and assert their dominance that way. And yeah, we'll see what Loughborough can do to counteract that.
What about the familiar faces then? Because we've been listening to Joe and the team down in the studio, but you've been casting your eye out and seeing a lot of people from your time at Exeter, and then we've got a great group of supporters over there as well. Some of them will be saying goodbye to the university as they just find their voices in the crowd. Some of them have made the journey to come back as well. These are moments that stick with everyone.
Yeah, 100%. I had such a great time at uni. Some of my best friends still are guys that I was at uni with and played with. I've seen Jack Owlett, who was tight head prop during 2 of the finals with me at Exeter. I've seen Chris Swash, who was at 12 for us. So yeah, I'm seeing some old familiar faces, which has been fantastic. And I'm just hearing the same chants as we used to sing back in the day, so it's great.
I look back at that final against Loughborough from 2016. That was a heck of a game. Late drop goal to win it. I mean, you've gone on to achieve an unbelievable amount in the game since then. Where does that rank in terms of your rugby memories?
Oh, it's right up there. Just in the fashion that we did it. I felt like we deserved to win that game. We were dominant for the majority of it, but the scoreline suggested it was much tighter than it was. But to win it in the last 2 minutes with a drop goal, shout out Jimmy Doe, was incredible.
And what about the following year? Obviously, you were a gargantuan presence at number 8, but against you that day were Morgan Morris, who now goes great guns with Ospreys, and Seb Negri, who's done all right as well.
Yeah, I know. They've gone on to some pretty impressive things. But yeah, that, again, having won it the year before, it's always tough to go back-to-back, as I've found out with Harlequins. But yeah, it was still a great day. We just couldn't get over the mark.
Supporters out there in the sunshine, making sure they stay hydrated. There's a great face-off going down there. We can see the Loughborough bench there in the African violet with the green vests. In between them is the trophy, then opposite them are the Exeter bench as well in those famous green and white hoop jerseys. Both sets of supporters in incredible voice. Loughborough responding with some chants of their own. I've been a bit creative with some of them as well, but I have no doubt it is going to ebb and flow beautifully. We are counting down to kickoff, and a very warm welcome to you wherever you're joining us from around the world. That is what is at stake. The BUCS Championship trophy. It has been won by both of these illustrious teams over the years. But Loughborough, a rugby powerhouse, have not lifted the trophy since 2010, which seems an awfully long time for a team that have made such a big impact on student rugby over the years. As for Exeter, their league consistency in the BUCS Super and Rugby era has been absolutely astonishing. They've never finished outside the top two. But cup form is only something that they've discovered recently. They marched their way to the final last year. They overcame Durham, who were the league champions, and they are looking to do exactly the same today. And here they come, led out by Josh Barton and Teddy Leatherbarrow. Will it be back-to-back or double delight? The two best teams in student rugby, first and second in the league, both on incredible winning runs. Loughborough have lost just once in 2023, 8 wins in a row. Exeter, just that one blemish this year as well against Cardiff University. It cost them the league title, but all of that will be forgotten if they leave with that glorious trophy again today. Andy Wigley, the man in charge. And we are underway. History beckons for both of these teams. Teddy Leatherbarrow, not with the start that he'd have been looking for. He was gargantuan in the semi-final, and straight away he's going to have some defending to do here. Tom Lauday, nightmare start.
Yeah, a little bit nervy perhaps. No big occasion on a big evening for them. Not the start he would have wanted, but yeah, let's see how Exeter can get into this with the set piece.
It's the first time the packs have faced off. It's Jared Williams, Harvey Dunn and Archie Owlett in the front row. Williams and Owlett both featured last year. Bryn Davis, Joe Plunkett and Jack Burtonet packing down for Loughborough. Niall Armstrong puts the ball in. Everyone lined up on the open side here for Exeter. And it's Cortis, crashes forward. Great carry from Max Cortis. And Exeter with a great opportunity, trying to win that race around the corner. Just 3 meters short already. Josh Cunningham there in the red scrum cap, adding his weight. And Armstrong has a little look. Milo Hallam gets low. But Ben Hammersley looking to peel around the corner, but Jared Williams, reaches and nearly gets there, but he's just short. What a start for Exeter. They're down. Niall Armstrong's over. We're 90 seconds in, and it's Exeter 5, Loughborough 0.
Yes! What a fantastic start for Exeter. That's the stuff of dreams. I love how they build the phases. And a sneaky pick for Niall Armstrong.
That's why we brought him.
That's a brilliant start to the game.
Well, a mistake has led to a try, and so often in cup final rugby, that is how it goes. Loughborough had to come from behind in the quarter-final and the semi-final, and if they're going to win today, they're going to have to do the same. Josh Barton, massively improved goal kicker this season. He's up over 200 points. And he's kicking into the wind here to add the extras. Sweet strike, but misses on the right-hand side. But a first venture into the 22 yields 5 points for the defending champions. Loughborough 0, Exeter 5. First touch for Charlie Titcombe, not the touch he'd have expected. Restarting the game, and then Dan John with a much more secure take than Loughborough managed, and puts the left boot to it. Here is Titcombe, the first spiral bomb of the day. In this breeze, we're going to see lots of those. Barton does well underneath it. Sure, that was meant to be a chip, and it's gone straight out. Big pressure coming in on the Exeter 10 there.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you know, things are looking a little bit nervy. We need to see a team get a grip on this game. Exeter would have wanted a clean exit there, maybe get the ball off the pitch, I'm not sure, but yeah, they've just invited some pressure onto themselves.
You haven't stopped smiling since kickoff.
I'm having a great time.
First line out then, Loughborough find Alex Wardell. He's on the books here at Saracens. He's played a couple of Prem Cup games this season, and he'll be the line-out maestro for the league champions today. Tom Miles with his hands on the ball. That's Nathan Pope. And then Tobias Monday, another man formerly of Saracens. Mario Pichardi, the Spanish international, finds Teddy Leatherbarrow. It's good ball movement from Loughborough, who sneak up to the 22. Bryn Davis tips that one on. Titcombe, spilled forward. Great pressure from Kofi Barton Byfield. To the best of my knowledge, the only man who's opted for the tights today on this 4G pitch at the Stone X.
Use it, 9!
Yeah, sensible man. I've had a few burns off this pitch myself, and they're not pleasant.
I'm not seeing you take the tights on, Tom.
I don't think I'd hear the end of it.
Box kick clear. Titcombe underneath it, gets rid of the first and second defenders. In fact, that was Reece Malone wearing 15. Both of them have been to the barber today, similar fades.
Don't play it too!
Stuff of dreams.
Exeter flying out of the line.
Okay, use it, 9!
Tom Miles. In fact, he's not going to kick this one at all because Titcombe is instead. He's going to look for the bounce and the 50-22. Excellent chase there from Harry Rosen, the Bristol Bear.
Use it, 9!
The wind has actually changed. At the beginning of the game, it felt as though it was with Loughborough. Now it feels as though it's favouring Exeter on these clearance kicks.
Use it!
And a nice long caterpillar for the try scorer, Niall Armstrong, to clear with. Good length on the box kick. Reece Malone's back there. Charlie Titcombe. Looking cross-field.
Is on.
That's an incredible nudge.
Oh, but Dan John's done very well. And he's going to look to return this, but he's chased down, not grabbed the first time, though.
No hands,
Dan
no
John,
rock.
one of the players in this Chiefs team who's...
in
this Exeter team who's made a real impact for the Chiefs. Played Premiership and Prem Cup. All of his Prem starts have been on the wing.
9.
Northampton Saints, London Irish, Newcastle Falcons. Top rugby mullet on him as well. Not sure if I respect it or not, but I acknowledge it exists.
Nothing but admiration my side.
Henry Lavin, it's been a good response from Loughborough since falling behind. Bryn Davis tips on again. Scrappy out of the back and potential knock on. Referee says it's gone backwards and Rosen sees a gap. Max Cortis, important tackle, and Dan John sniffing around the jackal. Wardell, potential gap for him to exploit. Titcombe tips on now. Malone. Excellent fend over on the far side. That was Preen. Oh, but then Sanders runs straight onto a shoulder. And this is serious intensity in defence from Exeter. Titcombe throws the dummy. Pope. Oh, good hands, but just left behind by Preem. And Exeter offside. Now, what do you do here, Tom?
13.
Corner or posts?
Corner, has to be. Has to be.
Can't believe I even
13
asked.
Exeter offside.
And that is exactly where Charlie Titcombe is shaping. That's a real statement of intent, because throughout the season,
Lad, choose line, please.
Loughborough have taken it to the tee. They've gone for the points. But in a cup final, they have thrown caution to the wind. A lot of their tries, particularly in the knockouts, have come from these positions. Their red zone efficiency, particularly through the forwards. Tobias Monday, Bryn Davis.
Maul.
But they go to the maul.
Collapse.
Been collapsed, and
Thank you.
Plunkett goes. Best opportunity of the match so far for Loughborough, looking to respond to that early Armstrong try.
Back foot,
Playing
please,
with an
right.
advantage as well. Well, it looked like Tom
Back
Miles
foot,
was going to have a
step.
dig, but he
Thank you.
stays with the forwards. Perfect conditions for this final, and perfect conditions for Loughborough to respond. First journey into the 22, yields a try, and it is Teddy Leatherbarrow. It was his mistake that led to the Exeter try. He has chalked that one off and chalked 5 points up for himself. Loughborough 5, Exeter 5.
A big moment for Loughborough there, capitalising on Exeter's ill discipline. They managed to get it over line. They had the advantage. They could have thrown it out wide, but they stuck to their guns,
Sure.
went through the forwards and managed to power over.
Yeah, that's what we saw over there, yeah. Perfect.
Titcombe in the shade to give Loughborough the lead. When he is on it off the tee, he doesn't look like missing. And he has struck that beautifully. Loughborough 7, Exeter 5. 2 journeys into the 22, 2 tries. 2 great teams putting on a great show. 10 minutes gone. We've seen 2 tries scored from close proximity, Tom. It's a situation you find yourself in quite a lot. What's the key there to making sure that those carries are successful?
The key for me is getting your body height right and making sure that you've got support. The clear out is as important as the tackle. If you go on your own, you're likely to be turned over. So the guys working off the ball have to work hard, they have to be with you, and then you can make it as effective as possible.
Little chip over there from Dan John. Reese Malone thinks he's seen a gap, but he's not struck that the way he wanted. Once again, though, Loughborough making a real Horlicks of that kickoff receipt.
Yeah, something that they should probably have a little quiet word about on the pitch. They need to back up the positives that they've done in Exeter's 22 with another positive in their exits.
Harvey Dunn hooking for Exeter today in his final game for URFC. A little bit loose, and Burtonet's ripped that. Bryn Davis sits the first man down. Great carry from the loose end. Now Miles tipped on by Plunkett. Oh, big shot. That's Archie Owlett. Oh, it's intercepted, and Josh Barton! He was the hero in the quarter, the hero in the semi, and will he be the hero in the final? 10th try of the season for Josh Barton, and Exeter lead again.
What a turn of events. Just as I thought that Loughborough were getting a bit of control, they've been dominating the set piece since the start of the game. They stole the line out, had a good position in the middle of the pitch, but Exeter have capitalised with that interception. Wow, great play.
Has that ended up with Josh Barton? He's been exceptional this season. He really has. You cast your mind back to last year when he was on the bench. And when he came on, the game changed. He changed the dynamic of the game.
He did.
And he's done exactly the same there.
I was slightly worried for Exeter in that situation. They seem to be short on that far side. But Barton has picked that one off. And another one on the board for Exeter.
12 minutes in, the lead has changed hand 3 times. Loughborough 7, Exeter 12. And Titcombe restarts play. Barton Byfield receives in the 22. Good chase from Loughborough.
Okay, use it 9. Warning back to the line.
And now the exit needs to be clean.
Use it! 4 step, 4 Loughborough. Thank you.
Armstrong
Just behind your back foot for us,
sends
please.
that high. Kofi Barton Byfield gives chase, but he's not going to get there ahead of Reece Malone. Puts on some of that Ulster footwork. Unorthodox kick. Not sure if he was expecting a man herring up the left wing to chase that, but either way, the ball's dead. And it'll be Exeter at the line-out. Clear game plan from Loughborough, isn't it?
Yes,
Put it
please.
on the toe.
Yeah, it seems to be. They've gone for a couple of those 50-22s a couple of times. They've almost paid off, so it'll be interesting to see if they continue to do that.
Harvey Dunn, it was a little bit loose last time, but nothing loose about that. Good line-out ball to Josh Cunningham. And away goes Luke Brailsford. Cunningham, red scrum cap, easy to spot.
Okay, use it 9.
Just one corner of the ground in sunlight now, but it is blue overhead. A little bit breezy out there, but conditions exceptional.
Good contact, both at the same height, realistic position.
Ben Hammersley giving chase, but Malone taking it well. Again, it's Titcombe who wants to kick, and Dan John has got a bit of time to make his decision here, and his decision is to try and run through the midfield. Teddy Leatherbarrow back on his feet, looking for the turnover. But just being driven off it.
Looked a bit unlucky there from at first glance, but we'll see.
Okay, use it 9.
New back rows have made a different gear, because that is a serious skill set, isn't it, to make that tackle and get hands back on it.
Will Evans-esque.
The King. Oh, there was the chance to call the mark there, but Kofi Barton Byfield. Great chase. Kofi Barton Byfield burning up the track. Josh Cunningham joining him. And Exeter back in the Loughborough 22.
Yeah, that's a brilliant play from Exeter. A fantastic kick, judged incredibly well. There was the opportunity for the mark, but maybe he wasn't sure if he was inside his 22 or not. But now Exeter get the 22 line out.
Again, it's scrappy. And Teddy Leatherbarrow with hands on it, but Archie Owlett has managed to present it. The tight head doing very well indeed. Hallam. Tackled by Wardell. Max Cortis out of the back to Barton. Whoa, Archie Hill very, very close to that backdoor offload. There's Will de Bomber. A lot of excitement every time he gets his hands on the ball. Dan John. Oh, what a shot on Archie Owlett. And these delayed passes. One knock on, then the other. I think Chris Preen might have got away with one there.
Play through, play advantage. Advantage is over now.
Titcombe nudges in behind. Could be a gap here for Dan John. And he looks so lively, as does Ben Hammersley. Well, Exeter getting a bit of luck off the deck. Archie Hill. Chased back by Bryn Davis, but he's gone in a little bit high, so a penalty advantage.
Number 1, high tackle.
It was a good chase back from Bryn Davis, but Little bit too eager on the high tackle.
There was only one thing in Archie Hill's mind there. He just wanted to carry hard. He looked aggressive in that carry. I like that.
And this is a good period for Exeter. I can see a substitute down there as well. I think we're going to have an early change. Luke Brailsford off, Sam Higginson on. Started the season in the starting 15, got injured.
Time on.
But that is a tough end to the final for Luke Brailsford if this is the last we're going to see of him. 17 minutes in. Oh, great take in the line out. And it's Exeter's turn to take it to the wall.
7 out.
Leather Barrow called out, still moving forward, tucked under the right arm of Harvey Dunn. Harvey Dunn takes it to ground.
Done by Exeter.
And now Max Cortis sniffing around it, but Loughborough have got hands on, and the chance has gone. Needs to find the man. Once again, it's Durrell who's the target.
Early, number 5 on the lifter.
And Mario Pichard's conceded another penalty. Now this is a real opportunity for Exeter. They're adding the weight. Archie Hill's in as well. So's Max Cortis. Oh, they're just short. And we'll go back for the penalty.
Take that to ground. We go back. Number 5, early on the lifter.
When the centres join, you know they mean business.
Yeah, 100%. We could hear.
Sure.
We could hear Armstrong on the ref's mic shouting, "Get in, get in!" All the backs joined, but they just fell short.
Let's take another look there. Yeah, Mario Pichardi just a tiny bit early before Lucas Durrell has gone to
Use
ground.
the line, Pink. Yeah, need to get your timing right. You've hit the lifter too early, number 5. Yeah.
And there is Josh Barton. 1 try, 1 conversion. 7 of Exeter's 12 points belong to him. And another golden opportunity here for Exeter. Durrell, the main target. They've gone to the front. Loughborough time it better this time. But Harvey Dunn's there, number 2. Adding his 100-something kilos. And it's still moving forward here for Exeter. Searching for try number 3.
Down by White. Okay, advantage.
Collapse by Loughborough. Chance for Exeter. Milo Hallam takes it to ground. Armstrong and Hill. Great tackle on Hill by Chris Preen. But it's still on here.
Still got the advantage.
Durrell into Lavin. Now Cortis fumbles with it, but still gets over the gain line, Max Cortis. Now Jared Williams clattered by 2 Loughborough tacklers. And they are queuing up to carry here, Exeter. A metre short, great carry by Harvey Dunn. Armstrong, Owlett, bumps off the first, it's Charlie Titcombe. 15 minutes to go till half-time. Jared Williams, another carry from him, lung-busting stuff. Armstrong goes again, Milo Hallam is over!
Hallam spotted the Loughborough 9 on the line. Big man against small man. There's only going to be one winner.
Well, Milo Hallam, one of those who has really put his stamp on the team this year. He was involved in the final last year and was a late addition late in the season, but this year he has really grown.
Yeah, sorry.
And that is a big, heavy carry from a big, heavy man, and it puts Exeter in control of this final.
Yeah, I like the way that Exeter have gone through the phases there. They didn't get bored, they stayed patient, just carrying off 9 round the corner, until they got that mismatch. Tom Miles, small man, he went in for it, but laws of physics suggest that there's only going to be one winner there.
Well, this conversion from a very similar position to the first one. Barton, 1 from 2 off the tee. Makes no mistake this time. Lovely nudge from Josh Barton. And Exeter take control. Their red zone efficiency has been top draw.
I don't agree.
It really has. It really has. They've punished Loughborough every single time they've visited the 22.
And that's a great take on the restart. That's been a big difference as well, the way that Exeter have dealt with kickoffs compared to the way that Loughborough have.
Absolutely. I think that was Durrell again. They used him in the line out. Now they're using him for the kickoff receipts.
Just step back, please.
It's been a class act so far.
That he has. Reece Malone underneath that, drills it into Tobias Monday, who's going to look to get involved in the game a little bit more. Not seen much from him, but he is a massive part of Loughborough's game when he gets some go forward. Tries in the quarter-final and the semi-final. And drops just outside the 22.
Taken into the 22.
Dan John, he looks so lively, doesn't he? And Exeter really want to play. Ben Hammersley, he manages to get through. Nathan Pope.
Seven's just slipped up off the ball onto the neck. High tackle.
Make sure, Dan.
Take a look at this then, the high tackle, yeah, it was the initial impact that took the left arm of Loughborough. From a Loughborough perspective, that's just another let-off, isn't it? Making the exit easy for Exeter.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan John looks like he wants to run everything tonight, which is fantastic. I love the intent. But Loughborough looked like they were piling on the pressure, and it looked as though Loughborough was going to get that turnover, but unfortunately a slight high tackle. And Exeter get let off again.
Harvey Dunn. And Durrell. He is all action right now, isn't he? He is the most important cog in the wheel, and that wheel is moving forward at a rate of knots. Dunn with the ball at the back. Bryn Davis trying to be a nuisance for Loughborough, and then De Bomber comes flying towards the Loughborough defence. A lot of numbers on the blind side here for Exeter.
And out 2, thank you.
Joe Plunkett called out. Josh Barton takes it to the line. Durrell backed up well by Sam Higginson.
Outside the half.
And there's no left winger at home for Loughborough. But the chase not great, so Harry Rosen gets on his bike. Oh, that looked high, but it's still Harry Rosen. He's got support to his left. Beautiful ball, and then oh, superb from Loughborough. Into the 22 they go, but they need to get there and get there quickly. Exeter have done well to slow that ball down, but Harry Rosen with a potential game-breaking intervention. Great support from Miles.
Not wrong way.
Now Titcombe, Chris Preen, out they go. Numbers here for Loughborough. Dummy from Pope. Pope inside, 5 metres short. Pressure coming on from Exeter, but Chris Preen, 1 metre short. Half an hour gone. Loughborough over for try number 2, and it's Bryn Davis who drags Loughborough back into the game.
How quick is Harry Rosen? My word, he looked electric.
Well, let's take a look at that break right now, because this wasn't an easy ball to take, but he only had eyes on one thing.
Look at that, the speed, the awareness.
I don't have a
the
clear
give,
side, mate.
the receive. Brilliant. I thought Exeter had just done enough to slow the ball down, but some serious efficiency from Loughborough, and they managed to get over the line.
We talk about second touches, and after you make a break like that, it's easy to give the pass and think, my job's done, isn't it? But carried on that inside line, and ultimately it was him taking it to ground inside the 22 that led to the chance to score the try.
100%. He managed to evade the tackle, stay on his feet, and get the pass back.
Bryn Davis, another man who scored throughout these playoffs. Titcombe to add the extras. Flags go up, it is game on once more. Loughborough 14, Exeter 19. I mean, I'm getting it in there early doors. I tell you what, Exeter probably lucky to get away with the high tackle there.
Yeah.
But this is some final.
It's brilliant. Tries are what everyone enjoys to see, and there's been plenty of them so far.
Better kick-off receipt from Loughborough this time.
Use it, 9.
And they needed that because the previous ones have been terrible. Miles sends that one up. Dan John underneath it. Big chase on John, but he skips past the first man, who's Will Sanders.
Tackle 6!
32 minutes gone. Just a reminder that our clock is close, but it's not quite linked in with the referee's watch.
Okay, use it, 9.
And in a game as close as this, if the clock does go red, there might be a little bit of meat left on the bone. Niall Armstrong looks to calm things down. That one into the 22. And this time, Reece Malone does call the mark.
Wait, 4. Thank you.
He's put that one right at the tram lines, and Dan John, oh, that looked forward. Well, it didn't look forward, it quite simply was forward. He's got away with one there, but Reece Malone returns it. Barton's underneath. He picks out Charlie Titcombe. Always does that little check of the ball before returning it.
Backwards, please.
Oh, it's an excellent kick that turns Kofi Barton Byfield. He just puts that one straight down Titcombe's throat.
Thank you.
And up it goes for Rhys Malone to chase. Oh, it's a great kick. And it's gone forward off Dan John. And that is what he's been doing all season.
That's an unbelievable kick. Up into the wind. Never quite know where it's going to land.
Okay, now anyway.
And incredible pressure as well on Dan John, who fumbles. And now Loughborough in a fantastic position.
He'll have heard Rhys Malone's footsteps hammering towards him, won't he?
He would have.
Now let's have a look at the scrum. So Loughborough have got 2 on the short side. It's going to be Rhys Malone and Will Sanders out there, defended by Josh Barton and Kofi Barton Byfield.
Crouch!
Then 4 on this open side with
Bind!
Charlie Titcombe in at first receiver. But first job, get the ball in the scrum. Tom Miles does exactly that. Oh, it starts to move forward as well. Loughborough penalty.
Post ball, lads.
Tipped in for the posts. Interesting, considering the set piece has been fairly dominant.
Okay,
They've had
so
a couple of scrum
claps
penalties
as well, so we've got claps both sides.
Talk to me about that decision then. Because you've got a few options, obviously. They've gone for the post, it's a final, they can make it a 2-point game. You can go for the corner. But opting for the scrum there, are you a little bit too far out to really sort of ask the question about yellow cards and such?
Yeah, I think to ask the question about yellow cards for sure. But with my limited knowledge of how backs defend off scrums, I don't believe you can blitz. I think you have to go a little bit softer. With Exeter had 3 defenders on the open side, Loughborough had 4 attackers, so naturally they'd have to kind of drift. So I don't know if they could have capitalised there, but having said that, it's a final. You want to keep the scoreboard ticking. So I've got no issues with them taking the 3.
7 points for Charlie Titcombe. Loughborough trail by 2. Less than 5 minutes to go until half-time. And I believe the saying is game on.
Game on.
Josh Barton again goes deep with the restart. Well taken and well stepped by Tom Miles, and he manages to scramble outside the 22. There are a lot of fleet-footed backs out there, aren't there?
Ball is out, yes.
They really are.
You can't dive within a metre of the ruck. You can pick the ball up, you can't dive on it.
And this time it's Exeter who make it easy for Loughborough. Frustrating.
Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Loughborough have been let off there.
Right.
There was a lot of pressure on the ball carrier. There was pressure on the kick. If the ball goes out, if the ball stays on the pitch from Loughborough exit, then Exeter get the chance to counter-attack or set up an attacking line-out, but instead it's Loughborough's line-out in the Exeter's half.
You're trying so hard not to let your Exeter colours bleed through, and I appreciate the effort, Tom Lorday. Must be said.
It's tough, but at the end of the day, I'm in a green fleece for a reason.
Okay, Loughborough, let's go, please. Time's on.
Impartial.
There's the Loughborough coaching staff there. Rhys Edwards, the director of rugby across the men's and women's. James Gallagher there with the bald head and the beard. Former tight head in the BUCS Super Rugby era. Was actually man of the match against Exeter when they played at Loughborough. Will Edwards played in that match for Loughborough at 15, your Harlequins teammate. Oh, that was did. Tipped on nicely by Titcombe, who finds Will Sanders. Another former Harlequin. There's the try scorer, Bryn Davis. Oh, that is a big collision. Tobias Monday straight into De Bomber. And De Bomber needs to get out of the way. And Will De Bomber just gets caught on the wrong side there.
Jack Burtonet doing some good stuff, just pinning the Exeter player into the ruck. meaning the Exeter player can't roll
Let's
away
go,
and
Loughborough,
thus
please.
getting the penalty for his team.
Well, if he does pin you in, you stay pinned in because he is a very big man.
He is.
I'm sure plenty of you at home will have realised why he's wearing number 24, not number 3. But it's because the number 3 jersey doesn't fit him. And if a number 3 jersey doesn't fit you, you're a very big man.
Exactly.
There he is, Jack Burtonet. Big moments in this final. 90 seconds to go until half-time. Loughborough back in the 22. Bryn Davis, moustache and all, gives his instructions to Joe Plunkett, who picks out Alex Wardell. Great line-up ball under pressure. And now they start to go forward with a penalty advantage, Loughborough. Plunkett's there at the back. More men at their weight. And it grinds to a halt around about 5 metres.
Side entry.
A side entry.
Okay, number 3 this side, number 20 far side.
You've got to be careful giving away penalties in this part of the pitch.
Bottom warning now. That's fine.
You do.
It's the same as you had. Lads, same as them, you're now on a 1 in this area, please.
That's another interesting call going for the corner there, as opposed to opting for the post to get the lead going into half-time.
You're now on a 1 in, same as them up there in first.
Why would you possibly use logic?
Strange, isn't it?
Joe Plunkett picks out Wardell at the front again. Loughborough go to the maul. Joe Plunkett has it at the back. It's wheeled around here for Loughborough. They're over the line and they lead.
And that's why they didn't go for the post.
Joe Plunkett just before half-time gets Loughborough's third try.
If they use the time, yes.
And they sneak ahead.
The way that Loughborough there find that back corner, they overload their right-hand side. All the Exeter players spin around the front of them all.
Sure.
And they get through.
Which one? That one, hands on the floor.
Get over the line.
Which one? Was that one hands on the floor?
And I think we just need to come off the ball a little bit quicker. Not necessarily you, but number 5 earlier down there.
Right. Can you just, if you don't want me,
sure.
Can you just tell me?
Yeah.
And then Joe Plunkett is the man on the end of it. I'm sure he'll tell you that he did all the hard work there.
Absolutely, hookers are always the same.
Yeah.
He's played a lot of BUCS Super Rugby this season, but last year it was a lot of National 2. Incredible way that both of these programmes can really nurture their tight 5 forwards. Charlie Titcombe. 2 conversions and 1 penalty so far. And it is another 2 points in the ledger. Teams run into the sheds at half-time, and it is advantage Loughborough. They lead 24 points to 19. 6 tries shared evenly in the StoneX sunshine here. What a BUCS Super Rugby final we have on our hands. And at the moment, Tom Lauday, it's advantage Loughborough, but what are your thoughts on the opening half? Loughborough 24, Exeter 19.
Yeah, I thought that Exeter would try to assert their dominance with the set piece, but it seems like Loughborough have got the upper hand in that specific area. They've won a couple of scrum penalties, they've had some luck with the maul, especially there in the last couple of minutes, scoring the try and getting the lead. But there's been some good running rugby from both sides. Both fullbacks, the wingers, they're looking to run first, which is entertaining. But it'll be interesting to see if things get tightened up slightly in the second half, see if the kick game comes more into it, see if they can assert dominance through pressure and territory. But it's all there for us.
There seems to be a serene calm around the ground since the referee's whistle. This was the first try. Exeter off to the dream start. Niall Armstrong, talk us through what you see here and talk us through how important this start is in a final like this.
Yeah, obviously the initial mistake from Loughborough meant that Exeter could capitalise. I saw kind of 3 or 4 really dominant carries from the Exeter pack. I think it started with Max Cortis, actually. Getting over the gain line, getting quick ball, getting around the corner.
Well, you can't keep a good dog down, and watch Teddy Loughborough strut into position Didn't take them long to respond, and ideal for him, having made that mistake, to make it up to his team almost immediately.
Yeah, 100%. He would have been frustrated with himself with his first action, but to get on the score sheet was fantastic.
What about this? Possibly the moment of the half. Big finals need game breakers, and Josh Barton's exactly that.
100%. For me, that's almost a 14-point swing. It looked as though Loughborough were going to score on the edge, but Barton picks it off.
And then it was a little bit more brutal from Exeter this time. Was really impressed with their composure in the 22 in the first half.
Yeah, definitely. They were super patient, went through the phases, and ultimately they got, like I said, they got a big man against a small man.
Milo Hallam dotted that one down, and just as it looked as though Exeter were taking control of this final, Loughborough had other ideas. It was off the back of a great break from Harry Rowson, but then Nathan Pope taking Loughborough to within 5 metres. Talk about Exeter's composure. Loughborough showed exactly the same when they had their chances.
Yeah, 100%. It's so easy to get ahead of yourself in this position when you've made an 80-metre break, but to go the length of the pitch, then regain composure and score is brilliant to see.
And then just before half-time, it was down to the set piece.
Yeah, absolutely. Just grind it out. Opted to go for the corner, which proved to be the right call, and they go into the break with the lead.
Well, that is where we are. Loughborough less than a score ahead. Beautiful sunshine, a great final, and a very good-looking studio led by Joe Burns. How are you, mate?
Well, D-Rog, I'm grinning from ear to ear, not just because I've got England Centurion Tamara Taylor and Hartbury's finest Dan Murphy with me, but because the final that was promised, the final that is being delivered, similar to the coaches, our half-time team talk has been turned on its head by the acts of Loughborough there at the end, going in to the break in the lead, Tamara.
Yeah, we actually spoke about this in the women's game before. You want to score just before or just after half-time. It is really, really important from the mental game, because you're now going in as a Loughborough team there on the ascendancy, and now the pressure's back on Exeter, which is actually probably not how the game has been running for most of it. Exeter have been up there banging on the door but not quite getting through.
Yeah, what's your take on that, Dan? Lots of territory for Exeter, but not much change to take back to their scoreboard.
Yes, I think the kick battle's been huge. Obviously, Exeter start. The Loughborough 7 dropped the ball straight off the restart. First rule of counter-attack: catch the ball, and that set the stage. But it's the kick battle that's dominating this game. You let the ball bounce, you get an extra metre in your kick chase, you can then push that territory up the field, and that's what Loughborough are doing. They're turning the corner with that.
So we've got a bit of time, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's get a little bit nosy on that kick battle and what the two teams can do to come up trumps in that battle. What are the specific things that you think needs to happen?
Like I said, it's about finding grass. You find some space, especially with the 50-22 laws. A lot of backfield coverage is around the 15-metre lines now, so the space is up the middle. So kicks up the middle, long driving kicks. We saw Loughborough 10 putting that spiral bomb up in the air, which is disgusting. It's horrible to take.
It should be outlawed, shouldn't it?
But that's where the space is, and especially with this swirling wind, you put a ball up there, you're catching it, you're looking at it, you've got bodies calling you around all around you, and like I say, first rule of counter-attack: catch the ball.
Well, a team that struggled to catch the ball, and you touched on it there, Dan, was Loughborough from the kickoffs. Some really, really sort of mischievous kick. Well, they weren't that mischievous. They were just poorly handled by Loughborough, and maybe the nerves jingling and jangling a little bit for them at the start.
Yeah, I did wonder that actually. They made a few mistakes early doors, obviously that dropped kick on the restart, but also probably just outside the 22. Twice at least they had a decent 2 or 3 person overlap and didn't quite execute getting the ball out, and I think just running straight and passing, they probably at least would have got themselves a lot more territory, and we've seen when they get in the 22 they're pretty deadly.
Well, I guess the alarm for Exeter is those nerves have dissipated, and you said great time to score at the end. They've scored 17 unanswered points to overturn that deficit, so they're not just going in with that try ringing in the back of their ears. The last 20 minutes they've been the ones who are plundering the points.
Yeah, definitely. And Well, I know I said Exeter at the start of the game, but even probably till about 10 minutes to go, I was still thinking, do you know what? They've had a lot of territory. They don't look like they're struggling to get over the try line, but Loughborough just seem to have found their feet and started to execute when they get into that 22, which we knew that they were going to be dangerous in that situation, but they've certainly proved it now off set piece and open play.
So we flirted with the theme of nerves, big final nerves, but let's talk about expectation, Dan, because there's a double on the line for one of these two sides. Exeter can go back-to-back with this guy, or Loughborough can secure a league and cup double. Both quite unique in terms of the only team to achieve them are? Hartpury. So you're very, very well placed to talk about that expectation, because that's something that always rides with the Acorn badge.
Yeah. I don't think they'll be mentioning that in the changing rooms right now.
Not mentioning, but then, I mean, someone is thinking about it.
There'll be somebody thinking it, and they won't be mentioning it now. Like Tamara mentioned about the points just before half-time from Loughborough, and I said it in the last game, the next points are crucial in a 4-point game. The momentum, you need to get that momentum back in the game, whether it's from a kick battle, bit of set-piece battle. I think they're going to be huge.
These two sides have had slightly differing journeys to this final. I wouldn't say that Exeter have walked it, but certainly they've had some pretty strong showings. I know that Josh Barton's had to dig them out of some holes, but Loughborough have really had to battle back, namely against Bath in that semi-final, who were right up there at the top for much of the league season. Do you think, experientially, that Loughborough are maybe slightly better placed to close this out, having been to the emotional well a touch more than Exeter?
Yeah, sometimes that helps. You can have a really tough semi-final and that's almost your final, or you can have a really tough semi-final and you can build on it. So I'm not going to say yes or no until the end of the game, but I actually think this, I know we've banged on a bit about it this today, the wind could make a difference. So you've now got Exeter with, when the wind picks up, it is coming down this way. So if they use their kick sensibly and use their set piece, which we know they like to, and they're pretty strong when they get close to the line, I'd probably be saying that if I was in at halftime talk.
It's interesting. There's something I hadn't really considered about the wind. You obviously have with the arrival of that enormous coat, Tamara, and I maybe should because of how temperamental my hair is. But that wind, how big a point do you think that represents potentially for Exeter coming into the second half?
Yeah, sometimes it's tougher to play with the wind than it is without it. Sort of Exeter played against it in the first half, now playing with it. Your depth adjustment, running onto the ball, if you want to play and keep hold of the ball, it's tough sometimes and you get balls put behind you. With Loughborough now spinning into it, they're going to have to play a bit more and keep hold of the ball for longer periods of time.
Okay, lots of firepower to come from the bench. You know, the scrum halves, we touched on Tom Kent, Charlie Bracken tearing up trees for the England under-20, so the bench is going to be important.
Definitely, and that's what I love about rugby, that it's not just the 15, it's the full 23. It's the others that have got you there, got you to those finals. But you want to have a strong bench in these types of games. You want to be putting strength on in that last 20, 30 minutes that can really make an impact.
It's not just PR and branding these days. They really are the finishers. They're not replacements.
Yeah, and we saw in the last game, Exeter were tired the last 20 minutes, and those energisers, those finishers coming onto the game, adding that, lifting the rest of the team that have played 70, 75, 80 minutes. You really need those energisers in there.
Okay, so before the match, you chose Exeter, you chose Loughborough. I'm going to allow you a reconsideration period, having enjoyed 40 minutes of the finest BUCS Super Rugby. Are you sticking to your guns?
I'm staying with Exeter.
I'm sticking as well. I'm sticking.
And you're looking very pleased with yourself with the current scoreline as well, Dan. Well, we're going to find out whether Dan or Tamara, we're going to find out who is going to be crowned BUCS Super Rugby Cup champions. It's up to D-Rog and Tom Lauday to finish the job.
Burnsy, Exeter have just been led back out onto the pitch by Josh Barton, closely followed by Teddy Leatherbarrow and Loughborough. Let's use Josh Barton as an example. How much of a part do you think he's got to play if Exeter are going to get their way back into this final?
Yeah, a huge part. We've obviously seen what he's done in the first half, getting the interception and going kind of 40, 50 metres to score. He looks like he's in control, he looks confident. So Exeter are going to turn to him and rely on him to get them in the right areas and make the right decisions for them.
It'll be Charlie Titcombe to get us back underway 9 points off his boot, and Loughborough lead by 5. It's 24-19 here in the BUCS Super Rugby Championship final. The sun's setting over the StoneX Stadium. That wind still swirling around. And Niall Armstrong is about to send one straight up into it.
Thank you.
A rare moment of calm in what is sure to be a chaotic 40 minutes of rugby, and that is a really good take from Reece Malone. Had to be at his very best there. Titcombe, little chip for Monday to chase.
Advantage, knock on.
And Loughborough think they could be in here, but we'll be going back for the knock on. Or will we? Lucas Durrell on the ball.
Advantage, knock on.
Naughty little chip in behind that from Titcombe.
Yeah, it was a brilliant option. 3 Loughborough players came through to get the ball, but
unfortunately
a knock on.
Again, it's going to be Armstrong to kick clear. Feels like a long time ago since he scored that try, doesn't it? Reece Malone picks out Rosen, who gets absolutely melted. Here's Bryn Davies. Really loses a collision, but he's met there by Archie Owlett. That's Titcombe. He's been left behind, but Loughborough managed to recover it, or do they?
There's no lift on the ball.
No lift, says Andy Wigley.
Lad, stop where you are,
It
please.
goes from Titcombe. Dan John can call the mark here. Oh, he was a touch late on that, wasn't he? But puts a heck of a left boot on it. That is a massive kick from Dan John.
Is that a 50?
Oh, nearly.
Could have been, couldn't it? Is that the rule from the mark?
Yeah.
Stop that.
I should know, but I don't.
Wait where you are, wait where you are. You're on now.
Josh Barton, always running with intent and skipping through the first. Thought he'd seen a mismatch, but Burtonette manages to scrag him. That's Durrell tipping on, and then De Bomber. Oh,
he's been incredibly physical all game. I've been so impressed with him.
Well, he is in for Ollie Leatherbarrow, the captain, who's still serving a suspension. Henry Lavin offside.
Number 1 pink offside.
You've not worn enough layers, have you, Tom?
I haven't. I haven't. The wind's picked up. It's getting pretty chilly up here, but it's hot on the pitch.
We'll work on your puns. Let's take another look at this. This is going to be that Will De Bomber carry, but yeah, Bryn Davies just a little bit too eager. Will De Bomber, that's a bit of nominative determinism, isn't it? Because he is a very, very big physical carrier, the man wearing number 8.
He is. He is. He's definitely asserted his dominance on the game this evening as number 8. You want them to get front football, you want them to be physical in defence, and he's done just that.
Down it goes from Niall Armstrong. Kofi Barton-Byfield in there at scrum half, and then peeling away goes Josh Cunningham. Oh, Loughborough player's gone down clutching his head there. Just got it on the wrong side during that clear out.
No, you haven't lifted the ball.
Oh, Lavin thought he'd got a turnover, and Armstrong thought he'd seen a gap. Neither were true on this occasion. Jared Williams out there to Cortis, loves the carry, and you can see why. He's actually adapted his game. He started off the season at 13, but you can see how well he's enjoying playing number 12 today. Harvey Dunn. Now Hallam. Oh, Dorrell gets dealt with. Jack Burtonette, don't want to run onto that shoulder. But they keep coming, great discipline from Exeter. Josh Cunningham gets swallowed up. And then Milo Hallam with an excellent carry.
No, play on, regather before it hit the ground.
Little floated ball over the top for Kofi Barton-Byfield. Oh, great strength from him, but he just puts a foot in touch. And that is the first time we've seen him with his hands on the ball, and he looks electric.
He really does, and he backed himself there on the outside.
Who, sorry?
Not short of confidence, which is great. It's what you want from your wingers, but incredible cover defence.
Lads, 9, 2 and 5.
Reece Malone and Harry Rosen. Some early changes here for Loughborough. Charlie Bracken, Saracens and England under-20 scrum half coming on for Tom Miles. Nathan Langdon in the scrum cap there coming on at hooker. And George Taylor coming into the second row there for Mario Picciardi. Just his third game back from a season-long injury. He's gone quarter-final, semi-final, final,
lads,
George
watch
Taylor.
off, please. Time on.
And a penny for the thoughts of Nathan Langdon, who's coming straight on the pitch, and the first thing he's got to do is pick a line out on his own 5, and he does find Tobias Monday.
Inside 5.
Cool as you like.
Lads, don't play each
Joe
other's
Gray-esque. 5 minutes of the second half gone. Exeter looking to run from deep through Ben Hammersley. Oh, great carry. And he's won a penalty.
You're okay, 16 as a moment. Lads, let's not go overexcited, okay? 16, wrong way.
Well, here's Hammersley. First carry was brilliant. And again, it's Loughborough making a nuisance of himself. Decent kick. This has been a sharp start to the second half for Exeter.
Use the edge, lads.
Yeah, it really has. They get another opportunity in the Loughborough 22.
Line, please,
Nathan Langdon unfortunately getting caught the wrong side of the ball, allowing Exeter to have this line out.
What are they, 10 metres out? Oh, I've just seen the mascot take his head off. That's against the rules.
Balls up the
Off the top they go, but it's a little bit scrappy, and Max Curtis wants to clean up. Oh, and he does. It's another abrasive carry from the inside centre. Back into the 22 we go. Oh, Loughborough have stepped it up a notch in defence. Big shots coming in. Archie Hill, Langdon and Bryn Davis bring him down. Armstrong goes up the short side. Not an awful lot of space there, though. Milo Hallam. Oh, Bryn Davis flying in again. Archie Hill in at first receiver. It's a really good gain line carry. Now that's Hammersley off his wing.
Okay, advantage.
Oh, Josh Barton trying to step through, playing with an advantage here. Exeter has to go.
Penalty advantage.
Another penalty advantage, another opportunity to Bomber. Breathing close to the paint. Archie Owlett. Now Armstrong. Is there some width to be had here? Not this time, but back towards the post. Options both ways, and Armstrong sends it to Archie Hill. Still playing with an advantage. Oh, another brilliant carry. This time it's Dan John in the shadow of the posts. Another penalty advantage, but they're not going to need it because Exeter are under the sticks. First try of the second half goes Exeter's way. We are level, and it's a yellow card. Oh, this is a big moment in the final. It's the captain, Teddy Loughborough, who's set for 10 minutes.
That's a huge blow for Loughborough. Loughborough has been crucial in slowing down Exeter's speed of ball.
So it's not a try.
They'll miss him for the next 10 minutes.
On the goal line, so 7's going to the bin because he's offside, but there's a player inside that can make that tackle.
Confirmation then,
Sorry,
no
lads.
try,
One sec.
but it's a yellow card. The score's still 24-19.
So he's offside, there's a player inside
but the way
that
the
can
whistle
make
was
that
blasted
tackle.
and the arm
It's a penalty
went
only.
up. So still, Loughborough 24, Exeter 19, but Loughborough down to 14, and Niall Armstrong smelling blood. There's the tap and the go. There's acres of space here, but Curtis keeps hold. Oh, if that had gone wide, it would have been a try, but surely it's coming here for Exeter.
He had to pass it.
They're still going, but they're over this time. That didn't take long. And now Exeter are level. Loughborough 24, Exeter 24. It is game on here.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, Max Curtis opting to carry as opposed to using the overlap. He'll be thanking his forwards for finishing that off.
So this is what happened first then. So Teddy Loughborough was the man who was never onside. There's the advantage coming. But the way the arm has gone up there, We got awfully excited, but he hadn't grounded it. And this is the try.
I don't think it is. I think he hits it up and he can regather it.
Burrowing over from short range.
To the offside. Thanks.
Again, laws of physics. Fantastic carry. And Jared Williams makes it 24-24.
Yeah, that's a huge moment in the game. Loughborough looking good defensively. But Exeter now have levelled.
Oh, he's missed the conversion.
And we're all square. Wow.
You bet we are. Half an hour to go. Loughborough 24, Exeter 24. Josh Barton. Couple of missed conversions. So much to get excited about. Loughborough pulled the trigger early.
Advantage for the knock-on.
With the substitutions as well. And Exeter looking to run it. 2 second rowers linking up there. Hallam finds Cunningham. And when they get confident, there are very few teams in this league who can lose quite like Exeter. Barton. Out the back we go. Dan John thinks there's space on the outside. There might be for Kofi Barton Byfield, who gets around the first tackler, but not the second.
Well.
That's a big clear out coming in. Harvey Dunn in an acting scrum half. Archie Hill dabs that one in, and Reece Malone says thank you very much.
Move back, Ping, 1, 19.
Ben Hammersley.
Thank you.
Thinks about the kick, but decides to take on Malone instead. And they're back up to halfway off Brent Davis. Great counter from him. It's not going to be enough to turn that ball over to Bomber and Barton. There's a notable change of pace from Exeter in the last few phases. Dan John at the heart of it. Lovely offload to Barton Byfield.
Tackle!
Charlie Bracken's there on defensive duty. Josh Cunningham. Exeter just constantly upping it now that Loughborough are down to 14. This is lung-busting stuff. Niall Armstrong injecting the pace again. Milo Hallam. Someone's lost a boot, and Nathan Langdon makes sure it stays lost for a little bit longer.
Some of the darts are there from Langdon.
That's Sam Higginson. He was a first-half replacement for Luke Brailsford in the back row.
Advantage.
Owlett. Another penalty Loughborough have conceded. They're having a pretty dark second half so far. Straying offside. Leatherbarrow in the bin.
Advantage 9.
Dan John, Barton Byfield.
Okay, it's just gone forward.
Now, what are you doing here?
Number 19 never onside.
That's such a tough call. What are we, 12 minutes in? Oh. It's kind of one of them where you've got to assess how you're feeling on the pitch. You've got to have a little chat with the leader of the pack,
you can't shout at me, okay?
the captain, the leaders of the game will have to get together and have a decision.
No,
but
I disagree.
I'd be half inclined to take the points.
You spent too long stood in the Saracens, you have.
It's rubbing off on me, is it?
Well, Loughborough took those 3 points in the first half, and look what it's meant. They've scored one fewer try than Exeter, but they are 24-24. Yeah. And this is a gilt-edged chance to take the lead.
I just think we need to be mindful of what penalties are on this area,
Armstrong.
Yeah, I think we just need a bit more space to break down.
He will not want to leave the pitch. He's playing beautifully, isn't he, Niall Armstrong? Really injecting the pace.
He really is.
Sure.
He's giving Josh Barton the service that is needed. The forwards are giving Armstrong a platform as well. It's linking together really nicely. I'm loving the Loughborough defence that haven't been broken down the middle. Exeter managed to get a few metres on the edge, but that's okay. They've managed to reorganise and regroup. but the discipline factor is really playing a big part now, and Loughborough are going to have to work on that to not allow Exeter into the game.
Some magic tape being applied.
Thank you.
And he is going to fight another battle, Niall Armstrong.
Going to the corner. Love that. The kick needs to be a little bit better than that, in my opinion. If you're going for the corner, you need to give the forwards a chance to get them all into the game, and it's got to be slightly closer.
Well, the breeze has picked up, and Exeter are playing into it.
You guys need to move over on your
And the
first
supporters club are coming down from the stadium to the touchline to really G the boys on.
Which we love.
Going across.
Oh, straight across. Lucas Durrell.
And now they can go to the corner properly.
First throw across.
Was that 3 or 4 penalties by Loughborough in the last sort of 5-6 minutes?
Yeah, it is sneaking up on them this second half.
Yeah, that's something they're going to have to address, because it's just inviting pressure onto themselves.
Yeah, it's George Taylor who's jumped straight across, just desperate to get something on it. They've challenged the line out well, Loughborough, but they're not going to challenge it here as Durrell snaffles another one. He is a great line-out option on the open side, and this looks very good indeed for Exeter. Try number 5, surely incoming. Try number 5 is chalked up, and Exeter lead once more. Well, Ben Hammersley walking away, surely he's not grounded that ball. If he has, the right winger, then he must be banned from the forwards union.
There'll be words.
So it's Harvey Dunn who's on the ball there. And then Sam Higginson at the back. It is a melee of bodies, but the referee was in a great position to spot that ball grounded. And it is 24-29, 10 unanswered points since half-time, and 10 unanswered points since Loughborough have been a man down. This yellow card period has been very, very costly for the league champions. Big conversion now for Barton. Oh, they like that. Loughborough 24, Exeter 31. And with that, confirmation that Harvey Dunn has been awarded the try. It was the hooker, not the right winger. We can call off the attack dogs on Ben Hammersley. Tom Cairns is on there, wearing number 21. And firstly, as a player who'll strike fear into the opposition. Secondly, as a testament to the standard of this rugby, he's played in both Champions Cup knockout games for Exeter Chiefs in recent weeks.
That's incredible. And I believe he scored in one of them, hasn't he?
Scored a try against the Stormers.
Wow. Some season that he's had. And he's straight into the game with a fantastic box kick.
Charlie Bracken with that box kick, and that is Tom Cairns with an AFL-style take. But I think Loughborough might have held him up here. George Taylor doing great work, but Exeter doing very, very well to keep hold of that ball. Loughborough now having to chase the game. Still a man down. There's Reece Malone. Charlie Bracken.
Lads, move back out of 10, move out of 10!
Not the cleanest of strikes, but a great chase. Oh my. Oh, and he's... God, I thought he pinched the ball there as well, Tom Cairns. He is probably conceding about 25 kgs on Tobias Monday, but he has absolutely walloped him there.
He's flown into that.
Number 12 within 10 metres of the kick.
And it's Max Cortis
lads.
loitering offside. And Charlie Titcombe is going to try and drain one from nearly 50 metres. Got the wind in his sails though, Charlie Titcombe.
I'll double check how long's left on the yellow.
And I suppose with the man in the bin, this might be a sensible choice here for Loughborough.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot more so if he manages to knock it over.
100%. Just use all the time that you have. Run the clock down. It looks as though Loughborough is stripping off to come back on after this kick, so it's a good option.
Charlie Titcombe, 18 scoreless second half minutes for Loughborough. They've gone from 24-19 ahead to 24-31 behind. This to reduce the arrears. It is as sweet as a nut. 12 points for Titcombe. He's been flawless. Loughborough trail by 4.
6 purple replacements. Simbin's also back on.
And Teddy Leatherbarrow returns, and with that, Henry Lavin is replaced by Ben Smith.
Just 1 second.
Fascinating story, Ben Smith. Only a second year playing rugby. He was a second team hockey player.
Okay.
And you'll know his brother, Johnny, who's at Queen's Academy.
Yes. Yeah, I do know Johnny Smith. And if they're anything like as players, Ben Smith will be trying to get all over the breakdown.
Ben Smith is exactly that. He's an all-action back rower. With a big impact in the team this year, of course. You need to use a lot of players.
Use it now,
55 Loughborough have used this year, but he's been a multiple man of the match, scored a hat-trick against Cardiff in the league. Plenty of meat on that from Charlie Bracken. He's
Move
picked
up
out
the 10.
John, who's chasing his own kick here. I think he's been unlucky and tripped over a trailing leg.
Use it, Pink!
But he's one of those players, Dan,
Go
John,
back.
despite the fact that it looks like he cuts his own hair, there's a lot of excitement around him every time he's on the ball. Another tough one from up above the lights. The referee says that one's gone backwards, and Max Cortis can go away at the right wing. Big, strong carry, so direct from Cortis. And that mistake from Josh Barton could yield a good opportunity here.
Both ripped it in the air.
For Exeter. Can see a few tired bodies out there now, can't we?
Yeah, 100%. The spaces are starting to open. But the intent into the tackle is still great to see.
Into the last quarter we go.
Play on the body.
Barton looking for one of those gaps, trying to find one of those tired bodies. And George Taylor, great collision, but then just slips off the tackle. Cairns keeps sending the Exeter pack forward. Oh, some space at the blind side potentially. Again, the intent from Exeter. Onto the open side there, could have perhaps been some space on the blind. Cunningham. I'm putting you on a 15-minute warning, Tom, because you're on man of the match duty, and it is not a job that I envy, you having to pick one of these players.
No, that's going to be a tough one. It's been some serious operators around the whole park tonight. It's been a joy to watch.
Well, Ben Smith's put a late one on Josh Barton there. It's going to be a penalty, and Barton stayed down. And I think Ben Smith could be in slightly deeper trouble than he'd like here, just on the pitch.
Yeah, okay.
Let's have a listen into this. What's Andy Wigley got to say?
Bring your 20 over. You're 20. Look, I've only just been speaking about a number of penalties. It wasn't to you, it's to your replacement captain. It's a late shot, it's cheap, it's a yellow card, off you go. That's it.
Not the impact on the BUCS Super Rugby final that Ben Smith will have wanted. Let's take another look at it.
I think that's a little bit harsh, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay, lads,
he's committed
off,
to the tackle.
Water off.
The ref doesn't have the luxury of seeing a replay, so he's just got to rely on his first instinct. But I think Ben Smith can feel a bit hard done by, and that's probably things evening out there.
Well, Josh Barton obviously felt pity for him as well. It's a big left foot clearance, and they found Dan John, who puts his head down and takes that intentful arc. Oh, he just makes 15, 20 metres that feels like he's got no right to.
He makes running look easy.
Yeah, he just gets up to high speed so quickly, doesn't he? And at the moment, it's all Exeter. They feel as though they want to make hay during this period. Another try might just be enough. As it stands, a full-point lead. We are very much game on. These next few minutes, absolutely massive, as was that tackle. Barton Byfield. With some defending to do, but that defensive line that was so militant in the first half is starting to look a little bit jagged in the second.
Ball's there. He rolled over the top of him.
Exeter are finding one-on-ones as opposed to double tackles that Loughborough are finding kind of earlier on in the game.
And a bit better there, Loughborough, through Harry Rosen and Nathan Pope. Love to get Rosen back on the ball, Loughborough. They'd love to get anybody on the ball. They're not getting a sniff right now because Josh Barton going again. Oh, Harvey done. Straight into Nathan Langdon, hooker on hooker. Oh, Barton releasing the hands and releasing Will de Bomber.
Release 14!
Will Sanders was called off it. Jared Williams still out there. Club legend, staying on another year. Could end up being the record appearance holder. Oh, Hammersley offloads to Archie Hill. Pope chasing back desperately. Exeter back into the 22. We know what happens here. Dan John in at first receiver. Frees the hands, but there's no option to offload. Todd Mules come on at tight head. Barton Byfield. Oh, he's trying to take the long way around. Kofi Barton Byfield. Still Barton Byfield. Oh my goodness me!
Wow.
Kofi Barton Byfield with a BUCS Super Rugby try for the ages. The club's top try scorer might have sealed the final with a stunner.
A piece of pure magic. He has no right to score this. The wheels, the strength throughout the tackle, and then breaks through two and manages to dot the ball down.
Well, we can't see the grounding there, but it'll be momentum that takes him over. I don't think there's a secondary movement. I don't think there is any question as to whether or not the AR was in the right position. But Kofi Barton Byfield. Let's have another look at this. Has he moved his arm? Has he grounded the ball?
Yeah.
Josh Barton, right from the touchline. Oh, he's missed that one as well. But it's a two-score game now, and Exeter largely in charge. I mean, 6 tries to 3.
This is a huge moment now for Exeter.
So let's have another look at this then. Is there any question mark over the grounding, any question mark over the double movement?
No, not at all. So it's there, you're allowed one positive movement, and there, ball's down.
Thank you.
What a score. What a score. Well, Loughborough needs something to happen. They need it to happen now. Reece Malone slings that over the top. Nathan Pope and Harry Rosen into the 22. This has been a rarity. We've not looked right a lot. Oh, good pick up that from George Taylor. Had to be. Bracken rips that one out to Tickham, who finds Bryn Davis, who just keeps going. Bryn Davis, brilliant from him, and Todd Mule makes the tackle. Bracken wants quick ball. How much better is this from Loughborough? Oh my! Across the face to Leatherbarrow. Oh, Leatherbarrow can't get it to Sanders. But it feels like Loughborough have to score, and they have to score now. Wardell.
Back foot, lads.
Leatherbarrow again. Out of the bin and with a point to prove. 3 meters short. Patience required.
Advantage,
Langdon
offside.
gets dealt with, but from an offside position. So Bracken finds Titcombe, and now Sanders. Oh, Sanders does get the offload away. Oh, there could be a yellow card coming here.
Big trouble. And that's going to really open up the last 15 minutes, I think.
No.
As Josh Barton.
We've got a player outside, haven't we?
It is Josh Barton.
So no, there's cover.
Drama. What a palaver.
Twists and turns.
Or you got a penalty on the 5-metre line over there for offside.
Oh, Josh Barton. He has been heroic for 67 minutes.
Okay.
It's one of those things where it's such a natural, instinctive thing to do. You see the ball go, and he knows immediately.
3 yellow cards, 9 tries, 9 points in it, 13 minutes to go.
14 purple change.
We've had it all, but there's still so much to come.
Yeah, it was. Number
George Barber replaces Will Sanders, and he becomes the 56th player that Loughborough have used in this BUCS Super Rugby season. Played the majority of last year, has been injured all of this season. This is first BUCS Super Rugby appearance of the year, and his last appearance in a Loughborough jersey. But he is a long way from the action here, because George Taylor has grabbed it. Nathan Langdon is on the ball. And Charlie Bracken has his hands on it, or does he? Still going forward. Oh, it's close. It's close from Langdon. Another advantage.
Let go!
Andy Wigley, the referee,
White 7 collapse.
Is maintaining control of this game very admirably, because it looks and feels like there's a lot going on down there.
Yeah, it really does. I'm not envious of his position down there at all, but he's got a grip on the game, he's controlling it well.
First job, find the man, which they do. Wardell goes up, here's the maul. Watch out for Langdon in that grey scrum cap. Number 16 on the ball. Being driven towards the line by the big men in front. Another penalty advantage, but Langdon's over. Nathan Langdon gets Loughborough's 4th try. Brings them back within 4 points.
I've got it, you have the advantage. I know. It's not foul play.
And another twist in this all-time BUCS classic.
Advantage for. I don't see it as foul play. Thanks. Thank you.
Loughborough needed that. It's back within 1 score.
The entry of the player on the line.
Down to 14. We're in for an exciting final 10 minutes.
You bet we are. It's another 2 points for Titcombe. He takes his personal tally up to 14. There's 2 points in it. Both teams down to 14 players. Loughborough without their back rower Ben Smith. Exeter without their outside half Josh Barton. I think that'll mean that Dan John will step in at first receiver.
But there'll be a lot of space out there. There's tied bodies as well as space.
Let's go, lads, please.
We're in for something exciting, I think.
I think you are right. Oh, and Dan John's just put that out on the full. The most trustworthy boot all season, Dan John.
Thank you.
He has gone to kick that deep and apply the pressure to Loughborough, and he's just invited it straight back on Exeter.
Yeah, he won't want to rewatch that. Now Loughborough have a fantastic position and opportunity to get back into the Exeter half.
Oh, it just didn't look clean off the boot, did it? So a quick word for Todd Mule, who's come on at tight head prop for Exeter. Started the season in the back row, moved up to the 2nd row. Now he's playing in a final at tight head prop.
Bind!
Wow. Versatile.
Quite astonishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's putting the pressure on his scrum time here. Oh, Oh, what a scrum from Exeter! That is massive!
What a response. Dan Johns coming in to give his boys up front a pat on the back. Deservedly so.
Well, he owes them a kiss and a Christmas card. If he can find touch as well with this penalty as he did from the restart, then Exeter are in business.
Inside 22, thank you.
It is a safe one found for Exeter.
Nice,
However, with 8 forwards on the pitch compared to Loughborough's second, this is a chance to kill a bit of time and maybe add to the scoreboard.
Thank you.
And listen to that, the EURFC faithful suddenly find their voices.
Time on.
Oh, Terrell again rises so high, and Exeter take it to the ball.
20, don't
Benji
change.
Jocelyn's added his weight.
Down low white.
And there is the ball towards the line. Oh, over the line! Exeter extend the lead. It is brutal, it is brilliant, and it could well be the try that secures the trophy.
Loughborough did incredibly well to stop the driving maul.
Thank you, mate.
But a quick dynamic pick. Milo Hallam.
2 BUCS Super Rugby final tries for Milo Hallam from a combined total of about 2 metres.
Just under 5 minutes.
It's the first stat that counts.
Oh, massive. Now, this is a massive kick. Let me tell you why it's a massive kick. Firstly, because it takes Exeter beyond a converted try. Secondly, if Loughborough respond with a converted try, then we're going to extra time. Josh Barton out of the sin bin. Onto the tee with the chance to put one hand on the trophy. Oh, he's missed it again.
He's had a torrid time with the wind, I think. He hasn't quite managed to find the accuracy that is needed.
We can play.
But another change for Loughborough. Dan Martin has just come on. Oh, Loughborough win it back. Reese Malone looks to release Harry Rosen. Rosen brought down by Jared Williams, who's still out there. What a lung-busting effort from the loosehead prop. Into the channels we go. It's the big man, Tobias Monday, up to the 22. George Martin. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. Monday gathers that one well. It's a good clear out to secure the ball. Bracken and a dummy and go by Nathan Langdon. A good line by Alex Wardell. Comes back.
First man on his feet.
Exeter think they've turned it over. Oh, and they have. Massive, massive moment. 2.5 minutes to go. Archie Hill.
Use it! Use it!
And they have breathed a huge sigh of relief. Tom Cairns.
Use now!
Right, let's start to talk about man of the match. Let's not, because the ball's still in play. Charlie Titcombe finds Rosen again. He beats the first man. Oh my, Harry Rosen into the 22. Try-saving tackle on Rosen, but Loughborough go again. What a shot on Dan Martin.
What's up, mate?
Penalty advantage. Oh, Rosen. He has sliced through. Titcombe to the line, little inside ball, second touch for Charlie Titcombe. Huge pass out to Rosen, who goes in for Loughborough. Harry Rosen gives Loughborough a glimmer of hope. Into the final minute, it'll be down to Charlie Titcombe, who has been flawless with the boot to level the final and send us to extra time.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Harry Rosen. He's electric. But Charlie Titcombe, such composure. Inside ball, gets it again. This left-handed pass, wow, that's incredible.
Huh? Yes, yes.
But now he needs to kick. This conversion. Under the lights at the StoneX. His biggest moment in a Loughborough jersey. Titcombe sends it goalwards. Titcombe splits the uprights. It's Loughborough 41, Exeter 41 in the greatest game of rugby that BUCS has ever seen.
Jamie, can I just check that?
Ice in the veins. Charlie Titcombe.
Thank you. Cock's right. So this is last play, okay?
Oh, it's last play. Teddy Leatherbarrow receives it. Now, what do you do here? Do you play?
Use it!
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's got to go off the pitch, isn't it?
Apparently not.
No. Give it to Dan John, see what he can do.
Oh, well, Dan John is going to play. He only knows one way. Both teams have to be squeaky clean here. Oh, what a take by Dorrell. God, he's been good, hasn't he?
He's been fantastic. He's so versatile. He's been using the line out so much. He's carried a lot. He's got a turnover. He's been great.
Here come Exeter. Max Cortis, another man who's been exceptional. Exeter don't want to concede a penalty here, because if they do, Charlie Titcombe's kicking it. You had Cal Smith there, looking for a turnover. Oh, big shot by George Taylor. Oh, they coughed it up.
There's 2 knock-ons.
Oh, it's knock-on, so that'll end the game.
2 knock-ons.
That'll end the game. And at the end of a pulsating 80 minutes, we are going to extra time. It is 12 tries, 7 of them for Exeter, 5 of them for Loughborough. The full-time score, Loughborough 41, Exeter 41. Now, just a quick update on what happens now. There'll be a break. There'll be 10 minutes extra time either way. If it's level at the end of extra time, it's the team who scored the most tries will be the BUCS champions. So as it stands, if there is no score in extra time, it'll be Exeter who go back to back. Right then, Tom, before we go to extra time, let's have a look at some of these tries in the most astonishing game of rugby I've seen in quite some time. It was Exeter who got off to the ideal start. They were 24-19 down. They needed the first score, they got the first score, and they were exceptional.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the halves have kind of mirrored each other. You know, Exeter get the good start, the start that they wanted in the first half and the second half. They get points on the board, and then Loughborough come back at the end. And it's great. It's been so entertaining.
Well, this was the second try. This was when Loughborough were down a man. That was a second try. Oh, sorry, a first try for Harvey Dunn. Another one who's in his final game. And what about this? Kofi Barton-Byfield. When he went over here, it felt like the game was done.
It did, yeah. I really thought it was. But then from the restart, Loughborough regained possession, piled on the pressure. And then some classy play by Charlie Titcombe. A beautiful left-hand pass. Rowson's in the corner.
Started here. Nathan Langdon. It was more great line-up ball from Alex Wardell. We've not spoken much about him, but quietly, he's been exceptional tonight, Wardell, in the engine room for Loughborough.
Yeah, he's put in a big shift. He's a big physical man.
And then Exeter go and do exactly the same. Amidst all of this, we've had the drama as well. We've had yellow cards for Ben Smith, yellow cards for Teddy Leatherbarrow, a yellow card for Josh Barton. But Milo Hallam, 2 tries for him. He's been gargantuan in the second row. But Loughborough just refused to give up that inside ball there. This pass from Charlie Titcombe to Rowson, who, to be fair, for some of his breaks, some of the energy that he's injected, that's a deserved try for the left winger.
Yeah, 100%. I thought that maybe Byfield could do slightly more. I felt like he didn't quite commit to the tackle there, but hey, I'm not on the pitch, so he might not have been able to get anywhere near him.
Well, Charlie Titcombe, he had the entirety of EURFC willing him to miss that, but just on that that close-up there, he was as cool as a cucumber, wasn't he?
100%. He's looked the same all night. He hasn't changed. He's so composed. You can't teach that. It's a joy to watch.
It's Loughborough 41, Exeter 41. Games like this, you hope and pray they'll end like this. Look, you've been involved in a final like this yourself against an Exeter team in the Premiership. But this one goes a step further to extra time, like Bristol.
Yeah, wow. What a turn of events that was out there.
Use it, 9.
So just a reminder, it's 10 minutes each way. If the scores are level, It is count back based on the team that scored the most tries. And at the moment, that is Exeter University Rugby Football Club. It is the league champions Loughborough against the defending cup champions Exeter. And Joe Birds has jumped out of the studio and jogged up the stairs, and I don't think I've seen a bigger smile this season in any rugby anywhere. Now the lights are on, the sun is set, and the scene is set for another brilliant 20 minutes of rugby.
The energy is still through the roof on the pitch. These guys are phenomenal athletes. The fitness levels is just remarkable.
Loughborough ball. Charlie Bracken feeding George Taylor.
Okay, first knock on.
So Loughborough have knocked it on, and judging by the changes that that Exeter made in the scrum, I think they'll be pretty happy with that outcome. That scrum penalty they won last time was massive.
Yeah, I think so.
Time off.
There'll be one chat going on between the pack, and that is scrum for a pen. They'll be looking to go over the top of the Loughborough pack here.
So as one of professional rugby's most versatile back rowers, when it comes to scrum time, what's your role? And you're not allowed to say just vibes. How important are that?
That's exactly where I was going. Will Collier every week says back row, you're just as important as us. You need to bring the energy. It's an 8-man job. So I'll take that. And he's one of the best ties in the Premiership.
Also, I'd say the best looking tight head in the Premiership. Yeah. Name a better looking tight head.
Low-key handsome man.
The crowd's so raucous as well. They started to huddle together for warmth because they had the sunshine in the first half and we didn't.
We've had stability throughout the game. We're not going to change that now. Come on.
Here is Teddy Leatherbarrow. Right. He's been at the heart of absolutely everything. He's been
correct, so we're not early, all right?
winning the ball or giving away penalties, making massive shots or finding himself in the bin. He is a young man who I'm very excited to see where rugby takes him.
Crouch!
As can be said for many of these young players today.
Set!
Absolutely. It's been the battle of the sevens for me today.
Yes. Oh, it's Loughborough who put the screw on this time.
Oh, wow.
And they've won it against the head. Now Titcombe finds Dan Martin. Lovely ball out to Rosen, who puts the afterburners on and kicks in field. You've got Kofi Barton Byfield, who's made a real pickle of it, but the referee says he's not knocked it on. Well, Kofi Barton Byfield.
He's got away with that one. I can see the ref looking at the AR. But no signal came.
I think Andy Wigley's just given him flair allowance after that try that he scored earlier.
Yeah, credit in the bank gets you places. And that's a beautiful nudge from Cairns.
Yeah, put him on the edge.
Gives Exeter.
Let's take another look at this then. Kofi Barton Byfield. It's an awkward bouncing ball.
Exeter, use the edge, please.
Well, what's he done with this? Well, he's knocked it on. That's what he's done.
I'll have a look at it.
Maybe backwards.
Lad, to me, come, please.
I mean, maybe backwards, if backwards was forwards. So Nathan Langdon, one try to his name, but probably a little bit too far out to do it this time. Bit of old school line outery. Dan Martin, late replacement in the second half. Wins the penalty. And with this breeze, I wonder if it might be a little bit beyond Titcombe.
Yeah, of course, kicking into the wind. But he's been confident and he's going for it.
Oh my. 16 points he's got. He had 183 leading into this for the season. This penalty would take him over 200. And far more importantly than that, it would put Loughborough into the lead. Well, if it carries on like this, we will run out of fingers and toes, not just between us, but between everyone up on the gantry. First chance at points in this added time period. And that wins has just started howling into the face of Charlie Titcombe. And then it's begun to swirl around the stadium here at the Stone X, but he sends it goalwards. And he is human after all. The score remains Loughborough 41, Exeter 41. Titcombe calls for calm.
And Exeter breathe a sigh of relief.
But it had the legs, didn't it?
It did. It looked good off the boot. There's a good trajectory.
Titcombe remains marooned on 199. Oh, here we go. Heather Barrow runs into a couple of big men.
No, you're pushing against him. You're pushing against him.
Bracken trying to buy one, referee wise to it. Oh, delayed pass is a loose one, and Benji Jocelyn, oh, he's knocked that on. Oh, Benji Jocelyn runs his fingers through his hair because he knows what a big chance that was.
Sure, we'll have a look.
Just Loughborough trying to be a bit cute. I wonder if there was a knock-on before that knock-on as well.
Yeah, I think that's what Titcombe was calling for.
1 second.
The referee seemed to miss that.
And if so, whether a scrum is the right call.
Okay, thank you.
Change for Exeter. Ronan Kelly coming on.
Well, just so you know, it's head injury number 5.
And it's going to be an HIA for Milo Hallam. 2 tries. A quick word on his performance this evening.
Okay, lads, let's go then, please. Time on.
For Exeter in the set piece. Name on the score sheet. And you can see he's gutted to be taken off here. It's the right call.
Crouch!
It's the right call if it's a head injury, definitely.
Bind!
But he wants to be out there.
Set!
And I can't remember the last time a second row has played more than 80 minutes of rugby.
Crazy. Heck of an effort. Oh, Loughborough looking to turn the screw and turning it tight.
Tight head up and across. Under pressure.
Sam Higginson has come on into the second row for Exeter, replacing Milo Hallam. He has been a big part of their National 2 West campaign, so he will be perhaps used to a slightly more rugged style of rugby in the National Leagues as opposed to this BUCS Super Rugby chaos. Carl Smith giving the instructions there. He has made a big difference in the scrum, Carl Smith, but then again, he is a big old unit as well. That's Dan Martin. Now Bracken again tries to send big men over the gain line.
I can't reward you. 19 needs to move. He affected the clear out.
Another kickable penalty here for Titcombe. This one right in front of the sticks. 30 metres out.
They had to go round him.
And surely the T is the option.
Post called.
Yeah, Higginson will feel slightly hard done by there. He's on the ball straight away, but the rest been consistent. With the tackling player not rolling away. Looks slightly harsh.
It was clean as a whistle from Higginson. He couldn't have done anything else there, could he?
No.
Charlie Titcombe. Just a moment of appreciation for that conversion with the clock in the red, by the way. Oh my goodness, incredible. But he's coming off the back of a miss. And an almost immediate chance to respond. 30 metres out, in front of the sticks. Oh, it's posted in. Loughborough squeak into the lead. 44-41.
They all count.
Oh, you bet they do. Just over a minute of this first period of extra time to go, and now Exeter need a score. Tying the match won't be enough for them. Oh, again, thought they were over the ball there. Dan Martin is going to act in at 9, but instead the forwards are going to try and keep it tight. 60 seconds is a long time to pick and go in that part of the pitch, though. And it'll be the left boot of Charlie Bracken to send it clear. Finds Dan John. Has he got a game-breaking moment of magic in him?
Advantage, high tackle.
Another high tackle. There have been a lot of those from Loughborough.
17.
There have been. I wonder if the ref will
Number 17, high
have a
tackle.
word at some stage. There's been 3 or 4 of those, I think, for Loughborough.
Well, they've already had 2 yellow cards. And the first yellow card period was very expensive, 12 points. And what's been interesting about the yellow cards is they've invariably been the second man joining the tackle as well. And that was the guilty party. Big Cal Smith, Northern Irishman. So 10 minutes have passed. What can Exeter do? Well, they're going to attack the seam off. The flying tackle comes in from Ben Smith.
Tackle now.
That is Cal Smith making the tackle. Josh Cunningham still out there, talking about second rows putting in a shift. My goodness. Archie Hill straight into Dan Martin. He goes. Tom Cairns, a bit slower than he wanted. So Ronan Kelly takes it on. This should be the last attack of the half. Lucas Durrell still full of energy. Oh, and Archie Hill makes a couple of extra meters. But Loughborough in the pen.
Number 2, high neck roll. Yes, it is.
Oh, neck roll penalty.
Number 2, clear up by the neck. It is, yeah, it is, yeah. Make sure you tap it, yeah.
And that takes us through to half-time at Loughborough 44, Exeter 41. Let's take a look at this, the neck roll, yeah. I don't think there's any disputing Harvey Dunn.
No, not at all. It's the correct call. And you can see he's gutted with himself afterwards. The reaction, hitting the floor with both hands. He's gutted for himself and his team.
Well, Dan Martin out there, looking like he's never been happier. It's amazing how different people react to different moments, because there'll be some people out there who have never known stress like this, but great to see players out there thriving too.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. The pressure will start to mount now. It's already huge, but it'll just increase. And you can see Dan Martin, he's just absolutely loving it out there. Smile on his face.
And rightfully so. Why wouldn't you be enjoying this? In all honesty, you've seen a lot of rugby, you've played a lot of rugby, it's taken you around the world, but rarely is it like this.
Yes, so rarely, so rarely. The way that the game's played now is, you know, territory kicking, build pressure in other areas that kind of flair attacking rugby. And us at Harlequins, we try and do that, but obviously at times it's impossible. But to have a game where 80+ points have been scored, and it looks as though there may be some points still out there. It's been incredible to watch.
Well, you've been involved. Well, let's talk about those 2 games we've mentioned then. Let's talk about that semi-final against Bristol Bears and that final against Exeter Chiefs. Both incredibly tense, pendulum swings both ways. How do they feel different from a playing perspective to those everyday games in the Premiership or the Premiership Cup or the Champions Cup?
The enjoyment builds throughout. It's you know that you're about to do something massive, and it's so hard to put into words. But as soon as the final whistle came against Bristol, we knew that there was no way we were losing against Exeter, and we scored points, and it was the highest scoring final. It was great.
Charlie Titcombe, the man of the moment. The final 10 minutes of the greatest game that BUCS Super Rugby has ever seen. Exeter need a score. Kofi Barton-Byfield's got one. And he takes the first contact of this second period of extra time. What twists and turns are in store? What we do know is both teams are going to have to be flawless. No silly penalties, minimum mistakes. Tom Cairns is going to put that one off the park. Oh, and he's going to put it out in the full. Oh, Tom Cairns.
He'll be kicking himself there. The referee said clearly outside 22. And unfortunately, it just drifts into touch.
On your first man, boys. One sec. Move over. Oh, thank you. Sorry.
What for Loughborough now? Protecting this 3-point lead.
One sec, lads. Look how big this gap is. I think you need to come in a little bit so we actually get a fair contest. Come in a little bit. Thank you.
Or do they try and keep it tight? First things first, they find the man. George Taylor is that man. And they take it to the ball. Controlled.
Down by Ping. Use it off the back now, please. Use it!
Bracken wants to get his hands on it. Well, that is mistake following mistake. Told to use it. Bracken desperately trying to get the ball.
No. It's gone down, and then he's detached and come back on. So
and we've got our first bout of cup final cramp as well, as Tobias Monday has gone down clutching the hamstring.
Time off.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time, especially with the surface that they're playing on. It's inducive to things like cramp, as well as the length of time that these boys have been running around for.
I think Exeter might be making another change in the front row as well. Archie Owlett is preparing himself.
Going on.
Well, not just preparing himself, he is licking his lips and running straight back onto the pitch.
Straight back on for the scrum.
They'll be quite pleased to see him as well, because the scrum's not been going particularly well for Exeter since Cal Smith's come on for Loughborough.
Yeah, 100%. He'll look to shore things up, especially in this position. Exeter will look to try and get a penalty out of this, but obviously Loughborough have had the rub with the green the last couple of times.
Sam Westmacott is the tight head for Loughborough now as well.
Lads, both you go straight and don't mess around. Let's go. Come on. Left to the mark, hookers.
Come on, Callum.
We haven't had head on head all day. We don't get it now. Come on.
Come on, Callum.
Seconds. Crouch. Bind.
Tom Cairns, ball in hand. He'll be keen to make amends. Well, that's a much better scrum already from Exeter. And another carry from Max Cortis. How is he still doing this? 92 minutes in. Here we go. Clean break for Exeter. Big tackle coming up. Big tackle made. And Tom Cairns does make amends.
Space on the far side.
Oh, but they've gone narrow instead. Loughborough looking a bit disorganised in defence, and there's an advantage coming here for Exeter. Josh Barton spits it out to Max Cortis, and Dan John looked forward, was forward.
That's forward.
We'll go back for the penalty.
It's come the other side of the line, hasn't it? We'll go back.
Slot this over the poles, and you're back in the lead in the final.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. That didn't even cross my mind. I'm just looking at the position on the pitch, the fact that it's on the 40.
He's not even thinking about it.
Yeah, they're going for it here.
And who can blame them?
What a nudge. What a nudge. That's unbelievable.
Josh Barton puts it on a sixpence. What did we say about being squeaky clean? Loughborough concede the penalty. Tom Cairns clean break. Josh Barton puts them to within 5 metres, and Harvey Dunn finds Lucas Durrell.
Lucas Durrell getting it towards the front again, and Exeter looking to build.
Watch Dunn here.
A huge contest.
Okay, now out, 8. Thank you.
Good canter from Loughborough, but away goes Harvey Dunn. Takes it to ground, and a pick and a go. Great shot on Archie Owlett, but he'll be recharged and ready to go again. Sam Higginson's in there, backed up by Josh Cunningham.
17. Thank you.
Harvey Dunn once more. Look how close Exeter are from regaining the lead. They've got an advantage here, Exeter.
Advantage.
Are they going to need it? They're still short. Ben Smith with his hands on that ball. He's called off. Tom Cairns digs. Owlett lines himself up. But instead they go out of the back now. Max Cortis. Cortis tackled by Dan Martin. Back the other way they go through Cairns. Owlett still playing with an advantage. Brilliant carry! And Tom Cairns darts and dives, and Exeter back in control.
What a play! Cairns sees the space opening up on the short side. Loughborough guilty maybe of folding and not filling the space. And Cairns capitalises and scores the most important try that we've seen so far.
Well, he scored a winner in the Champions Cup. Is he going to score a winner in the BUCS Super Rugby final?
Yeah, there you go. You see Alex Wardell and Langdon just both blindly folding, not looking at the ball or watching anything going around the ruck.
Time up.
And Tom Cairns dots down.
Well, has he injured himself in the process? He is down, clutching that ankle and getting medical attention. Josh Barton from in front of the posts. Very important kick because that takes it beyond a penalty. Do not adjust your set. That scoreline is correct. It is Loughborough 44.
We can play on if it's
Exeter 48.
And now they're without a scrum half. The referee said that they could play on because it's an ankle injury. And Tom Cairns is hobbling back now.
It does not look comfortable. And you've got to think about what that's going to mean for the season. I mean, he'll be hoping to be involved in the Champions Cup semi-final as well, won't he?
He will, of course. He's back now, and he's outside of the 22. So let's see what the kick's like this time.
Loughborough need a try, and they've got 3 minutes to get it. Reece Malone sends Monday into action. A big carry from deep, and Scott Butterworth, who's on at hooker, makes a tackle. Titcombe out of the back, and Martin. Oh, it's scrappy ball, and Wardell has to clean up as he so often does, but makes a positive carry. Loughborough back inside the 22. Was that a knock on backwards, says the referee. A few of those, but Andy Wigley has done a great job of staying in charge. Charlie Titcombe. At some point, Tom, you are going to have to pick a man of the match. So how about we have one from either team and the winning team gets awarded it? Deal?
Deal.
Have you got some nominations?
Yeah, 100%. I think I know who I'm going to give it to.
Okay.
To be honest, I'll give a few honourable shout-outs. I think Hallam's been fantastic. Obviously, getting himself on the score sheet. He's been industrious in the second row.
Off the ball.
I think Josh Barton's been brilliant. He's controlled the game. His kicking game's been great. His running game's been great. Teddy Leatherbarrow, the Loughborough captain, he's led from the front. He's been involved in pretty much everything. But for me, the two players that have stood out the most, Charlie Titcombe with 10 for Loughborough, and Lucas Durrell at 7 for Exeter. Those two have been monumental.
I don't think anyone can dispute those two choices. So we're going to agree that the man of the match goes to the winner, but he is one nominee, Lucas Durrell, who has been absolutely unbelievable, and how he is still going is anyone's guess. Those open sides are made of different stuff.
They really are. He's still looking so fresh. I think he's called the line out as well, which has been fantastic.
Both sides.
It's been a real asset to the game.
But this man here,
this man right here.
Watch off, please.
He's got the chance now to do something special, to send the ball deep into the Exeter half.
Lads, watch off.
To try and get back into the game.
Well, what we've got here is a Mexican standoff, because Loughborough are going to get as close to the try line as they can. First job is to get the ball into touch.
On the 5-metre line, mate.
But then, if they score, we've got 1 minute remaining, and Exeter will not have time to respond. Just tiptoed into the 22.
Yeah. Let's go.
Tell you what, if they throw Durrell up and he pinches this, then I don't think there's any disputing who the man is.
No, not at all. But I don't think Exeter have gone up that much.
They're going to go up this time. Oh, it's
he's done enough to disrupt it.
And it's Rosen. What a difference he's made every time he's been on the ball. But Loughborough are going to have to do it from outside the 22, and Exeter's defence, despite the fact they've conceded 5 tries, has been pretty resolute. Oh, it's a lovely step from Titcombe, but he'll be out of the next phases. At the short side they go. Dan Martin, a try here would win it for Loughborough, surely. George Taylor, shades of last year where Durham were knocking on the door and then went off their feet to concede the penalty. Cal Smith, great tackle by Owlett to slow that ball down, and Loughborough losing metres. Nathan Langdon, another unbelievable tackle. Josh Cunningham in there. Tobias Monday having to win a collision, and does. Smith, again, 2 more big tacklers in. Exeter just finding reserves of energy. Langdon doesn't want to get isolated. Oh, there are hands on that. Oh, that was tight, that was close. Now Titcombe wants to make the pass, but there's no one there for him.
Cairns did incredibly well getting up there, cutting off his options.
100 minutes have passed. Oh, here we go! Langdon throws it to Barton, and that is the final.
Yes.
The clock's in the red.
Wait.
And Dan John brings an end to the greatest game University Rugby has ever seen. It's 2 in a row. The Kings of the Cup. Destiny Day ends with Exeter as BUCS Super Rugby national champions. Exeter have done it. From last play magic in the quarter to comeback composure in the semi to finding a way to come from behind in extra time. It's a final that had everything, but ultimately it's a final that ends with Exeter University as the champions once more.
I'm speechless. This has been one of the best games of rugby I've seen in my life. What a way to end. The ups, the downs. Oh my goodness, it's been incredible.
Well, Dan John was the man who had the honour of putting it over the dead ball line. What a game he had, what a season he's had, not just in the EURFC jersey, but in the Exeter Chiefs jersey too. He embraces Reece Malone, his opposite number, who says goodbye to Loughborough with a loss. We will wax lyrical about Exeter's victory, but a quick word on Loughborough, because they have played their part in an epic, and I hope at some point in their lives they look back on this as a special memory, despite the heartbreak they'll currently be feeling.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're going to be gutted. They will be. To lose a game in that fashion, to have played 100 minutes of rugby and to fall short by 4 points, they'll be gutted, but they've done something incredibly special. They've reached the final, which is some taking in the first place. And yeah, they'll look back on university and university rugby with fond memories.
To win it with a try as well, when they could have gone for the posts, I think sums up this EURFC team. Over the years, negative is a difficult way to describe the rugby, but they have been clinical. Under the stewardship of Josh Barton, they have just cut loose this season. And to have a player who has been a key player in the Champions Cup to score that winning try, I mean, this moment from Loughborough as well sums them up as well. Inside the 22, Nathan Langdon looking to play, looking to offload, looking for the ultimate glory. But ultimately, it's the ambition that costs them.
100%. But in my opinion, that's the way that rugby should be played. It's so much more enjoyable to be a part of a team that wants to throw the ball around. It's so much more enjoyable to watch. And this final, if it's anything, if it's something to look forward to with these young players coming through now, you know, some are going on to professional clubs, Some have signed contracts in the last week. You know, rugby's going in the right direction.
It certainly is, and incredibly, some of these players might have put their boots on for the last ever time. They'll call it a day after uni rugby, and if that is the case, what a way to go out.
100%, 100%.
Well, do stick with us, because we will be bringing you the trophy lift. We will be going pitch side to hear from Joe and the team, and we will also be hearing from the man of the match, Lucas Durrell. I mean, a quick word on his performance. He's down there at the end of the tunnel, being embraced by anyone and everyone, and rightfully so. That is a perfect open side flanker performance from him, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. He's such an unassuming bloke to look at, but he's industrious, he's powerful, he's an incredible line-out operator. He's kind of got all the attributes to make a seriously class player. And tonight we've seen a seriously class performance.
Oh, you bet we have. Smiles on faces. There is a huddle there of boys who will tell this story for the rest of their lives. But speaking of stories, I think Claire is about to get one there with Ollie Leatherbarrow. How are you getting on, Claire?
I'm getting on very well, but that isn't what matters. It's the man next to me who matters. That game, Ollie, is going to go down in history as one of the greatest fixtures in university rugby we've ever seen. 100 minutes, and it's you who are leaving with the trophy. How does it feel?
I'm just absolutely delighted, a bit speechless, really. Just watching it back and forth. I was hating it and loving it at the same time, but I'm so glad the boys have come through and deserved it.
Well, we've lost Ollie. We'll catch up with him again in a little bit. I wonder who else I can grab. I'll have a look. Dave, we'll head back to you in the meantime.
Keep them coming, because it looks like you're having a lot of fun down there, and rightfully so too. A penny for the thoughts of Ollie Leatherbarrow. Of course, it announced that he's going to Newcastle Falcons. Him and his brother Teddy, both captains of their respective teams. Huge moment for him as club captain, but God, he must be gutted to not be out there with the boys.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. He's obviously still serving a suspension, but he'll be there watching and loving every moment. He's been a big part of the season. You know, winning the final is not just about one game. It's about the journey, it's about the process, it's about the graft that you've put in together as a unit behind closed doors, and he'll be loving this just as much as the rest of them.
Right, we're going to try this again. Claire, you've got Ollie. Let's see if you can get some sense out of him this time.
I do, yes. This is the extra time part of the interview with a very, very happy Ollie Leatherbarrow. We're doing extra time and everything today. Apparently, you were just telling me what this meant to you, and I wonder in particular, what does it mean to know that you can take the trophy back to Keith?
Yeah, Keith, he's massive. Just you can't put how much of a good man Keith is into words. You know, he loves everyone. He cares about us all, and he'll be delighted. And that was for him, and just for everything we've been through this season. We've worked really hard. We were unlucky not to get the league, and you know that's exactly what we deserve today. So yeah.
How were you as a spectator? Just talk me through the emotional rollercoaster that no doubt you went over and went through for 100 minutes.
Yeah, I just sort of dived into the subs club, joining in the chants and stuff, but it sort of means a bit more to me as well. So it was heart and mouth at sometimes and celebrating at others. So it's just trying to keep a middle ground. But I was just absolutely delighted that we've got through it in the end. So yeah.
Penning a contract to head up to Newcastle next year and winning the trophy here tonight. Is it safe to say this is one of the best weeks of your life?
Yeah, probably. I knew today when I woke up it could be a bloody good day, and to be fair, it has been a good day yesterday with the announcement. So just excited to get up there and have the opportunity to play next year. So yeah.
Just one final question. Your brother, I saw you head over to comfort him just a moment ago. I understand that there's a hard thing for him to hear at the moment, but words on him, his performance and what this Loughborough outfit put out there tonight.
I think Ted will be disappointed. You know, he cares about as much about Loughborough as I do about Exeter. You know, we both leave our hearts on our sleeves, and he'll be gutted. But you know, he's a great player, great bloke, and I love him either way. So yeah.
Go and celebrate with your team. You are back-to-back BSR Cup champions.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
I mean, we're emotionally drained here, guys. You've just witnessed the greatest game in BUCS Super Rugby history. I mean, one of the finals, the best finals that I've ever seen. How do you unpack that, guys? I'm just going to throw it open because, I mean, where do you start with a game like that, with drama like that, and with two teams who are both as deserving as each other to lift the cup, but ultimately it's Exeter?
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, like we just said, I think both teams deserve to win. They threw the kitchen sink at it right down to the last minute of normal time and extra time. Loughborough went all the way in the 80th minute to score and take it into that extra time, and we're still going and attacking right at the very last minute. Fair play to Exeter. I think they've managed that game, especially in that latter stages of the second extra half, and played in the right areas and managed to keep Loughborough out.
Well, it takes key men to put in key performances, and Claire Thomas is with our man of the match, Lucas Dorrell.
Well, I've been joined by our player of the match. He's absolutely knackered, but if you possibly can, find the strength, find the breath. Tell me how you feel right now.
Oh, it's unreal. Honestly, my first year in BUCS, and you know, I've come into the best group of blokes. You know, I'm lost for words. It's just to go back to back like that, it's unreal. Words can't describe it. Just so happy, so keen for this bus home.
I'm sure you are. You were just telling me there's not going to be all that much sleep tonight. Is recovery just going out the window completely?
Yeah. We said at the start of the year, if we win, we're not sleeping for 2 days, and that's exactly what we got planned. So can't wait to rip in.
You practically played for 2 days out there. That felt like an absolutely endless match. We definitely didn't want it to end. What was the difference today?
Oh, I think just, you know, we got Joshy Barton and Max and Archie in our spine. You know, those boys leading everything, and then, you know, we got Harvey Dunn throwing darts left, right, and centre. Just I can't give enough credit to all the boys on my team. You know, it's a group of dogs, serious group of dogs.
Definitely are. What was said at half time, because you came out the blocks absolutely firing on that 40-minute mark?
You know, we've lost a few players across the season, and our director of rugby, he's been going through a bit of a tough time. So we just had to be reminded of who we're doing it for, and I think that spurred the boys on to go and do it in the second half, and then in the extra time too. Unreal experience. Can't wait to come back again next year.
Well, it was an immense hustle from you. We're looking forward to seeing you back next year. Now, you've got some not sleeping to get on with, so we'll let you crack on. But congratulations, player of the match, and thoroughly deserved.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
And I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by a very happy director of rugby. I'm just going to stick this under your nose. Your thoughts?
Oh no, it was a hell of a contest, wasn't it? You know, when we spoke before the game, we said this is going to go all the way to the wire. You know, I didn't expect 100 minutes really, but you know, it was the two best teams in the league going head to head, and you know, that was one hell of a contest.
Lucas has just limped off from chatting to us. Can I get a word on the shift that he put in?
Yeah, no, like, you know, when you go 100 plus or 100 minutes, any guy who goes out there and plays that, you know, for that long amount of time is going to put in a hell of a shift. But like every single one of them, we couldn't have asked anything. Like as a 23-man squad, they've all added to this. And like I alluded to before, there was a number of players out there as well who haven't been able to play today, but have, you know, really added to this team this year. And, you know, when we think about the start we had, you know, we went the first two unbeaten, and I can remember going to Cardiff Met and waking up and reading the first tweet that says, "Has Exeter ever lost 3 in a row?" and thinking, geez, and that's probably give us that drive as a group of players to keep going. And you know, it's been hard, but, you know, we're here now, and to go back-to-back champions is everything we wanted at the start of the season.
And to do it over 100 minutes, over an incredibly eventful match, so many changes of lead, missed kicks looked for a bit as though they might play a part. We saw 3 yellow cards. It had absolutely everything. What, if you could put a finger on it, got you over the line? Is it emotion? Is it tactics? Is it physical conditioning?
Yeah, no, you know, all of them played a part. Those, you know, a guy called Tom Harris played for us against Swansea, who got a career-changing injury and probably will never play rugby again. And you know, he's been a massive part of it. Keith Fleming, the director of rugby, has also been a huge part of our influence for this year. And you know, that results for him.
A lot of people have said that. A lot of people watching on today were saying that Keith was at the heart of everything that you did. There was a lot of heart in what you did too. So many congratulations. Go and celebrate with your squad.
Cheers.
Right, back to us, guys. We're hearing from, the key protagonists on the pitch there. And one of them, Lucas Durrell, you've been singing his praises. He's been awarded the player of the match. And it's interesting that, had Ollie Leatherbarrow been available, maybe Lucas Durrell might not have got the run in the side to put together a 100-minute performance like that. And it's indicative of BUCS, really. It's about the opportunities, and we talk about the journey, the story of these players. Some players there are starting the 4th team, the 3rd team, and now they're here at the big dance. And that's really what is at the beating heart of what BUCS Super Rugby is all about.
I think you said it, didn't you, before? Like, you won't get this opportunity again to play with that group of players. You have some people stretch it out for 6 or 7 years, but you've got your limited time frame with those players. And yeah, to finish on a high like that for any of the boys that are leaving is just, what more could you want?
It truly amplifies that time together. You've got that finite period of time to win with your group, and that's all you've got, and that's what makes it so special.
Definitely, and for Exeter, the players that won it last year, and they wanted to back that up. And some of those guys that are playing today would have watched last year and be like, oh, I want to do that one day. And this year they're living it, and it's amazing to be in that group, I can imagine.
Okay, we're going to get more from you guys, but I'm going to send it up to Dave Rogers for the trophy presentation.
Thank you very much, Joe. I've been abandoned by Tom Lauday, who joined us for commentary. But the lore of BUCS Super Rugby has got to him, and he is down there to award the trophy to his alma mater, Exeter, who he had the pleasure of lifting the trophy with in 2016. Incidentally, they beat Loughborough in similarly but not quite as dramatic fashion 7 years ago. It was a 77th minute drop goal on that occasion. It was 100 minutes of absolute brilliant, beautiful rugby chaos on this occasion. Well, the first to get their mementos are the officials, led by Andy Wigley, who, in a real maelstrom, I think we'll all agree, did a fantastic job of officiating that game. Not without incident either. There were a few yellow cards, a few tries he had to keep a keen eye on. But great games need great referees, and Andy Wigley and co did that. Well, what a way for Loughborough to end their season. This is the best they've been in the BUCS Super Rugby era. They are the league champions. They lifted that trophy at King Coyd in Cardiff, and they were looking for a double that has only been achieved by Hartbury in the BUCS Super Rugby era. But looking at Nathan Pope down there, and Teddy Leatherbarrow, Dan Martin and co, it'll hurt right now. But looking back on this, what a group of boys who have played their part in a magnificent final. And so many rugby stories in there. We just saw Mario Picciardi receiving his medal. He's playing international rugby for Spain. Alex Wardell was about to grab his, and he's going to be donning the colours of Saracens in seasons to come. There are big futures for these boys, whether it's on or off the rugby pitch, whether it's turning pro or going into the world of work. They are going to go at it with the same vim and vigour that they've gone into their BUCS Super Rugby careers, and as a result, then they are going to be successful wherever life takes them. A raise of the eyebrows there from Cal Smith and Bryn Davis. Big front rowers who've been friends for many years. Martin Webdale, installed towards the end of the season as the full-time head coach. He steered the ship to a BUCS Super Rugby final and a BUCS Super Rugby Championship. That is not a bad return for the men in African Violet. But what about this group? For years and years, they were called a great league team, but success in the cup evaded them. Lucas Durrell looked like he wasn't sure what to do with that Player of the Match award, but if he keeps playing the way he is going to have plenty more, and he is going to get used to that lone photo call with his teammates watching on. Boy, oh boy, was he brilliant today. And that fantastic crowd cheered him all the way. But now it's time for the gold medals. The team will have felt as though they could have done the league and cup double themselves, but history's repeated itself. Second in the league and cup glory. There is Durrell getting his gold medal. But there were so many great performances today. Max Cortis getting them on the front foot, and Will de Bomber doing exactly the same. Milo Hallam, a couple of tries. Jared Williams, club legend. It used to be the joke as to whether or not he'd get 10 minutes. He's been a mainstay of that team. He's won his second BUCS Super Rugby gold medal. He scored his first BUCS Super Rugby try. Unbelievable. What a game to break that duck in. And the drama as well. Josh Barton, the hero, with the last play in the quarter-final, scored a magical try in the semi. There he is getting his gold medal. Received a try and a yellow card. But now he is going to receive the trophy from Tom Lauday. Leather barrow on Barton. History repeats itself and it whispers the sweet sounds of EURFC. Exeter University are the BUCS Super Rugby national champions for the second year in a row. Last year against Durham was epic. But this victory against Loughborough, quite simply the most astonishing rugby match I've ever seen. Well, that's the extended club. They'll never forget it. But what about those boys in green and white? They will never, ever forget this moment as long as they live. Although they might want to forget the 48 hours if Lucas Durrell's celebrations are going to be anything to go by.
The city of Exeter has been won by Lucas Durrell. No sleep for 2 days, and why not? Because they are celebrating a famous victory at the StoneX. A last word, Tamara, on Loughborough.
Do you know what? It's going to be really hard for them to look back and be happy right now, but they've won the league. They put up an absolutely outstanding fight. What a final. And yeah, just a couple of points too slow.
But tonight is Exeter's night, Dan Murphy. Amazing scenes, moments these guys are going to cherish for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and like I said before, it's a finite time to win that trophy that they've just won for the second year on the trot, and memories they're going to have for life. It'll be an amazing evening, or a couple of days, as you mentioned. Hope they enjoy it.
And just, it was touched upon as well, a word on Keith Fleming, unavailable to be right in the thick of the action for the institution that really he has built to what it is today.
Yeah, he'll be sitting at home watching that, and he'll have enjoyed that one. I'm sure he will.
He'll have enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. I think all of you have enjoyed it. Let everybody know this is the best league in the land. We don't just say it as a PR stunt. The stars are tomorrow, the games that matter the most. How good is BUCS Super Rugby? Tamara, thank you so much for joining us. Dan, your wisdom along for the ride. What a treat it's been. Same time next year, guys?
See you there.
Hopefully we'll be out there next year.
Same time next year, guys. Well, look, for Exeter, they build it as the day of destiny, but they've gone back-to-back. Is this the start of a dynasty? A cup for Keith, and once again, the university from Devon, the cream of BUCS Super Rugby.